recently started watching Trailer Park Boys. Okay, I
Oh
enjoy
no.
it thoroughly.
I'm
I actually
watching
started
Bob the
watching it
Coon.
prior to watching Letterkenny, but then
And
I paused watching that,
his
and then I ended
latest,
up
not a fan of
burning
Jimmy
all the way
Kimmel
through
video.
Letterkenny. Recently ended, so I started picking up Trailer Park Boys again. Phenomenal show. It is
My second
so
time.
funny. So someone tell me why. Why? Jimmy Kimmel had to show up in Trailer Park Boys. He was there as himself. Look through his acting credits, because he has done a good amount of stuff. 50% of the time, a solid 50% of the time, he is himself in it. He doesn't even play a role. He's Jimmy Kimmel showing up in something. And it's got to be because he has no acting ability. He just has to insert his actual self into the storyline to make it work. So, for whatever reason, his actual talk show was featured in an episode of Trailer Park Boys. Why? Hold on. I looked through his acting credits even deeper, and I saw that he voice acted as himself in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. What? What the hell is even that?
You know, we invited Raul Menendez to be here on the show tonight, but he had other plans.
Wow. That is some insidious torture, honestly. Putting in a cell with the guy, and the guy in the cell, look on his face, priceless. I relate.
Yes.
I truly relate. At this point, I'm fascinated because in probably half of those roles where he's just playing himself in shows, it's not even him directly on the screen. It's him in his own talk show, like pretending it's like a fake talk show segment of his that's been ham-fisted in. I just watched another one just to confirm that's the case, and in the scene in Hellboy 2, he's just there. He's the most important one, too. Like, he's watching 10, 15 different news broadcasts at once, but he keeps fixating on Jimmy Kimmel's freaking face just over and over again. So, yeah, I watched a few clips
I
of
don't
the
know why that would
Oscars
be.
last night. I don't think I'm going to watch it in its entirety. I have no interest. I don't think I will watch the Oscars ever again, actually, just for the sheer fact that maybe Jimmy Kimmel might show up, and I'd really rather not see him. So, maybe my disdain is unwarranted, okay, but I hold him up there in the same caliber as like Amy Schumer and others that I just do not enjoy, and it's for various reasons. But the
See,
main thing is I don't find them funny. Right? I don't find Jimmy Kimmel funny in the slightest bit. I don't
Amy
care what his
Schumer.
past is. I don't care what his future is. I don't care what his
Bet you
present
she
is.
looks like a bag of
I
cats right now.
like plenty of people I agree with on anything. I don't care about politics or anything like that when it comes to jokes. I like jokes. All right. I like to laugh. I can laugh about most things. You know,
I like to.
I was secretly traumatized in one manner or another by 9/11, and yet it's been trending on TikTok, and I've been laughing at most of the 9/11 jokes that pop up. Okay? I'll laugh.
It's
If
all
it's
about
funny,
Jimmy
it's
Kimmel.
funny. And Jimmy Kimmel, to me, is not funny. I rest my case on this scene right here.
But I don't understand.
What's going on? You're supposed to run across the stage.
John Cena?
I don't want to do the streaker. What do you mean you don't want to do the streaker bit anymore? We're doing it. Just don't feel right about it. It's an elegant event. You know, honestly, you should feel shame right now for suggesting such a tasteless idea. Look, it's supposed to be funny. The male body is not a joke. Mine is.
That's the video, everyone. Please leave a like and subscribe. It helps the channel out greatly. Leave a comment if you like Jimmy Kimmel so that I can berate you in the comments below.
Oh.
Check this out. It's a video specially curated for you.
Wow, we're gonna go after him in a little bit because he wants to deride me, but I don't like Jimmy Kimmel, so and I wasn't real fond of Amy Schumer either. And there's something to be said about that. All right, so you're looking at me at this vantage because I've managed to clamp my cell phone, no, hands free, to my shotgun microphone, so I can actually get a relatively decent shot and still be hands free, which I think is important because if you're gonna live stream, I mean, you can do it with one hand for short periods of time, but your arm gets tired. Right? And notice how I said rather than arm. That's a New England thing. New England, eh? Yeah. Where'd you park your car? So, it was so weird. The universe kind of interfered today, where I was like, okay, I'll go out. No one's going to talk to me or anything like that. I'm going to go out. I'm going to get my shots. I'll play a little bit. And, well, no, people exist. And sometimes they will collide with your time stream and your plans don't necessarily, they morph. You have to adapt. That's the moral of the story today. So yeah, Bontecune is he's a pretty funny guy, and I met him on the YouTubers group on Facebook, which is probably one of the few reasons I still have Facebook, because boy, it's like the basic function has long been decimated. Because Facebook used to be fun and handy at first, and now it's like a regulatory agency that you could barely get anything done on. But I still, I got a lot of contacts in that Facebook thingy, and so I'm not gonna abandon it total. I'm gonna do the best that I can to, just see what the hell's going forward. And I figure if I could be aware of what's going on around me, well then at that point, then at least I'll have a heads up. I like to have a heads up of whatever apocalyptic event goes on. It's important to be aware of the post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic New England. Apocalyptic. Yeah. So if you don't know already, my name's Kevin G Nicholson. I am the host of this YouTube channel. And I am also I am a musician. I am an artiste. I am an actor. I am just a goofy man. I like being a goofy man. I'm good natured. It's like, what was it? I'm going to edit a video today. I did a little Danielson trip, a little Danielson themed jaunt about the area, because it was a beautiful day. We haven't had beautiful days. We haven't had a lot of them. It's been like winter. And it's been cold and rainy, and it's been wretched. But today it was one of those days you're like, okay, no, there are good days. So that's what I'm doing. So I was playing guitar at Davis Park for a little bit today, and then my new acquaintances showed up and kind of hijacked the guitar, and he started playing with it for a while, and both of them managed to knock it out of tune. And the second one, in the end, he ended up handing it to me, and he handed it to me so out of tune, it looked like he was frustrated because he couldn't get it back in, so I just tightened it back up. But they had no interest in the interaction. It was more of a, ooh, let me play with your toy. So that was a little, that was unusual. But it was still a good day. And someone out of the blue, another strange thing I never thought I'd see happen is someone walked up to me in the park at Davis Park up the road, and walked up to me and went, marijuana? And I went, all right, sure. But it was, I didn't know this guy. He wasn't there 30 seconds ago. Bing. It's like the marijuana gods were like, here, give marijuana to Kev. Okay, I'll take this over. Nice enough, chatted for a little. Ended up taking off. That's fine. But it was a peaceful human interaction, and you could still have them without it ending in open fire or fisticuffs. I just want to be peaceable. You know what I mean? I don't want to beat the snot out of anyone. And don't get me wrong, I get mad, but I can kind of control that. And you go, I got my little Zen thing going on. And with that little Zen thing, that's when I'm just like, okay, I will control my temper because, yes, it's spiking an emotion, it's spiking a feeling. But you know what? That feeling will pass. All things will pass in time. And if I keep that in mind, it's easy to move forward to those next moments because life is, it's always unfolding, it's always evolving. And there's stuff that's going to happen that you don't plan for all the time. And there's nothing you or I or any sentient creature in this universe can do in order to prevent the randomness of life happening because it does. Yeah, I got out of the car today, and the neighbor's dogs just happened to be out. Now, I have no problem with that because I love my neighbors and I love my neighbor's dogs. But they start howling in unison when they realize it's me because they like me. But it's weird because I get this howling rather than, like you can tell they're excited, but the howl sounds almost like they're sad. And so when you hear dogs and they seem sad, so then I'm just like, oh, guys, and I get over there and I pet the puppies, and they're so sweet. And then one's vying for attention for the other. But this is, you can't control these interactions. The dogs. You just appreciate the fact that they're not going for my throat and they're looking for attention. They're looking for, hey, you got a piece of bread for me? So I got him a piece of bread. And, and I hug him and I pet him for a while. And then one tries to butt the other one out so he can get pet. So that's one of the reasons I love dogs. But again, the point being is that you can't control the flow of the universe. You got to try to surf the landscape that's in front of you, but that's all you got. And don't get me wrong, that sort of agency is important to have because a lot of people just stumble through and they don't know what they're doing. What's that? I pray you find peace and comfort is always so to throw you off. No, I like to think I'm a nice guy. Didn't realize it was actual text. And luckily, I could still read a little bit. That's awful small text. No, it's, I'm trying to be a nice guy. I was a nice guy today. Wasn't mean. And I made acquaintances. I'm very, very slow to call people friends because, friendship is something that you build over time. Excuse me, I gotta have a nice Dr. Pepper. I'm not sponsored. Not sponsored, but I still needed to wet the old whistle because we got to keep, So this is my first day, my first time. Well, technically, I guess it's my third, but this is like a new feature on YouTube. I don't like people, so I usually don't say much in public. Well, no, see, and that's fair because you say the wrong thing, and all of a sudden, in the midst of drama. And, oh, God, drama keeps you from getting the stuff you want to get done. Even sometimes, I love my family, but occasionally if I see family, and I don't mean close family, but I mean, if I see relations in the grocery store, and I'm like, oh, I got to get to, but I know if I'm going to talk to them, yes, everyone's terribly offended. And, it makes it a little easy for me because someone once said that true wisdom is knowing you know nothing. I'm going into this thinking, I'm an idiot. So you can say whatever you want about me. People have anyway. People are going to, even if it's not true, people are going to talk and they're going to go, la, 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 la. But it's how much weight you give it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not calling you by your pronouns. I'm not, I got into an argument with a young female about her ascertaining she was a cat. She was not a human being anymore. She was a cat. She would do the licking of the paw motion. And, you figure this, I understand there's a certain amount of play, especially as a teenager. You still got that kid stuff coming out. But in order to violently say, no, 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 I am, and you will respect my wishes because I say so, it's like, there is a thing called empirical evidence. Yeah. But, it's like I would have gotten her a little litter box, too. Oh. See, there are things about life. Life does stuff that you don't expect it to do. I had a girl and her mother living in here, and the girl used to leave used maxi pads just out everywhere when she started hitting that time, and it was the grossest thing I'd ever seen. But it was like, what do you can't yell at because that's Mother Nature, but at the same time, like, pick up after you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was Rome is burnt now. Rome's not burning yet, but we're on our way. We can still hold it together. I'm still holding some optimism for the human race and for this society because I'm not a terribly patriotic guy, but if I look at the state of a lot of the other countries in the world, like I'd rather be here than China because I don't like that. I don't like that Orwellian future going on over there where they can lock you down and keep you in your houses that stuff's scary. And, at the same time, even Canada and England, like, we've been screwed up for a while, but wow, the old guards are, they're getting a little too, that's offensive. We got to make sure you can't say that. No, you can't restrict speech. That's my opinion. And again, true wisdom is knowing I knew nothing. West Virginia, yeah, that's nice. You can still have trees. I'm a tree hugger. I'm very fond of trees. I'm very fond of my garden. When I have one outside, which generally happens when it gets warmer. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It could always get worse, but if you put enough energy into it, maybe I've just been lucky, but it does seem to be getting better. I was saying earlier that I have music on Spotify and actually on all the major music streaming platforms. And that kind of came out of the blue and saved my life, so to speak, monetarily. I'm not rich, but it helped me pay my bills. Milwaukee Tools. Well, I don't know. I'm not a pessimistic guy by nature. You say it's going to get worse before it gets better. I'd like to think that we're going through the worst of it now. And even that, the tail end. Because, South Park, if you've ever watched South Park, the cartoon, they kind of they hit the nail on the head years ago, and they said it's just between a giant douche and a turd sandwich, regardless of which side you think you're on, because it doesn't generally do anything. I've voted in every election. I've never seen it sway anything. So I'm just like, well, what can I do to sway anything? Well, just try to be nice to people around me. I got like a small set of rules. Don't lie, don't steal, and be nice. That's all. Just, don't take anyone else's shit. Don't make stories up unless you're on stage, in which case it's all right. There's times and places. And just, in general, don't be a douche. Don't be mean to people. It ain't hard to do. It's just like, excuse me, pardon me. Those words I'll use. I'll use those adjectives. Dog and pony shit show. Yee-haw! Hi, my name's Kevin Nicholson, and welcome to the Dog and Pony Shit Show, where we talk about absolutely nothing for minutes at a time. It's, if someone wants me to do something, if you tell me you're going to do that, unless it's court ordered, no, I'm not. And you think you have some sort of big authority if you think I'm going to just comply. But 80% of the time, if you ask me to do something, you go, oh, Kevin, would you please do that? I'll be, by sure. If I am able and I am just, I'll do what I can to help. But don't tell me what to do. It's called agency. That's what, you don't have to be nice to everyone, just the ones who are nice to you. Because if people are being shitty to you, you are not entitled to keep feeding them, clothing them, sheltering them, etc., etc. Certainly not giving them your stuff. Not the stuff really matters. What's going on? Something just buzzed somewhere. I'm concerned. Just didn't get well. I don't know if there's an invisible man. I'm kind of a Carlinist. I like George Carlin. And I don't think there's an invisible man up there making all the decisions. But I do think that there must be, if we have consciousness, then there must be some sort of cosmic consciousness. It's just too big for us to get. And we probably won't ever get it. But I'd like to believe that we retain our individuality after we're at it. But I have no empirical evidence to state, to go with that. And Kevin's an awesome name. However, because there are so many, note that the name of this channel is the Kevin G Nicholson channel. Because there's so many Kevin Nicholsons, you got to use the G, otherwise they don't come up. And you should Google it when you get off the stream. Just type it in. Any sort of engagement is great, where I might actually be able to make a living doing this stuff. Because YouTube doesn't pay me yet. But I've been tinkering with it for the last 3 years. And taking my time about it, so I haven't been rushing. Hey, I'm sorry, I get trapped while I'm reading. No, George Carlin was one of my favorites. I used to I live in Danielson, Connecticut. That's where I am right now. And down the road on School Street, there's the courthouse. And before they put that courthouse in, thank you, Michael Karen, there was a parking lot up there and a payphone down at the base, at the bottom of a flight of stairs. And I used to sit at the top of that parking lot listening to George Carlin and then writing out jokes in one of my books. And, they'd like questions, big questions, and try to make fun of them. Like, will the world be a better place 100 years from now? And I, of course, wrote down worse because I'll be gone. So it's going to suck without me. I'm awesome. I was a pretty arrogant kid. I'm still a little. Gallagher is to be known for the rest of his life for smashing pumpkins. No, not pumpkins, watermelons. What was it? The Sledge-O-Matic? Am I remembering that correctly? The Sledge-O-Matic. And people would go simply to get sprayed with fruits and vegetables. That was a good show. I don't want to contemplate whether he's still going. We've lost so many great people that I think we're like a baseline in reality too. Robin Williams is another one. I didn't know him personally, but he was one of those people where, when he passed on, I felt it. Where it's like, and I never met the guy, but it was like I lost a loved one. And I don't know if you guys can appreciate that with Robin Williams. He was funny, like make you cry funny. Carlin was too, but, obviously different feel. Don Rickles. Yeah, we just lost him. He held it together, though, for a long time before the end, Don Rickles. And he was one of those things where his sense of humor was kind of like my brother's, which is kind of like, hey, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Now, what are you wearing there? Is that a piece of celery? That's, I think you need to go back to the supermarket and replace that. Now, look at those, what are those ears? Those aren't ears, those are hanger bays. And he would just go into people. But because he knew it was just needling, he could get away with it because that was his shtick. And because, he was, he had some mob connections. No one really wanted to, take him down. He was. I used to love anytime, I used to watch Carson, The Tonight Show. And anytime they'd have comedians on, I would be there, riveted. Carson, Letterman, stand-up. And then I also did this other thing, though, Saturday Night Live, too. Whenever the musical numbers would come up, I'm out. I just wasn't interested, which was really weird considering I'm a musician. And you figure, well, you'd stick around for that. It was always the laughs were always better than the sounds. And actually, back through, if you go back to my main channel, you look at the my last Airbender video. Oh, I make myself laugh when I hear myself laugh. So I'm kind of like a positive feedback idiot. But if you listen to that, you'll be like, oh, Kevin's having a good time. He's special. They were good times. But now, we got less of them now. So it's up to us. We can't necessarily make the world a better place, but we can make the vibes coming off of us better. And hopefully that'll vibrate back. This is all non-scientific mumbo jumbo. But it feels right. I'm going with my vibes. Which is funny because that's the only reason why I'm live streaming right now. Is because my vibes are like, hey, they're supposed to be allowing you to live stream on your cell phone vertically. I'm like, all right, well, I can live stream with my webcam. Why can't I use that? And they're like, yeah, but we're really pushing this. And yeah, they're really pushing it. I got 5 of you in here, and I've been live streaming for 6 months the regular way, and I haven't gotten 5 concurrents ever. Okay, now we're down to 2. Thank you. Thank you for staying around. You're helping me get watch hours. What does that say? Oh, well, see, and that's good. Hopefully that will have a positive feedback loop. I'm not looking to cause problems. I am looking to spread a little joy. Because I got a little joy. I still got a little joy left. I mean, look behind me. It's all glistening off me. That's what I did. I got a bonus for my last album. And it was like I got an extra $50. And I was like, ooh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get myself twinkly lights. And there they are, folks. Look at them twinkling. Oh. This is, and I didn't need this. This was like a want. But if it became between this and food or basic necessities, I'm a shallow shopping hooah. Can I say that? It's about myself. I'll do that. Well, I guess it's not sticking with me. It's gonna choke me. It's gonna crawl over like tendrils while I'm sleeping at night. And wake up all glittery, but eyes will be rolled back. It's funny because I put a lot of effort into learning how to stream and to use software and to edit and all that stuff. And now YouTube seems to be like gearing back. So they prefer you do it with the actual cell phone than with all the gear. Like if you heard this at the beginning, this cell phone is strapped to a shotgun microphone. And that's just bizarre. That I would be using that as like the clamp too, and it fits perfectly. But that's the only way I can get this set up to work and still have both hands. I like my hands. My hands are important. I feel like I should grab my guitar though, because it was funny because I met those guys out in Davis Park today, and I mean I never knew them before, and I was just gonna go take pictures and leave, but instead one of them was like, "Oh, I could play," and I'm like, "Oh, let me tune it up for you," and I tuned it, and I handed it to him, and he started playing, and we ended up having like a little powwow for about an hour, and that was me being nice. He must have given me knuckles like 7 times just for being there. And that's where I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll do this tonight. Well, I'm glad I did, because it seems to be relatively beneficial. Relatively. It's all relative. It did. It certainly, it surprised me. I don't know if it necessarily made my day, but it was, this has kind of made my day more than the random encounter in Davis Park. And the other thing is, I went back. My original idea for going out was I went out to where I used to go to high school. It's not a high school anymore. It's now the Killingly Public Schools main office. And it's out on the other side of town. And that's where I went to high school, and they used to have the football field and all the old bleachers and stuff like that. So I went out there to take pictures. And when I went to the old high school, I realized they put up these massive solar panels up on big iron girders. And it served as kind of like a roof for the parking lot. People could still go underneath and park. And I remember thinking, I suggested that to be on the actual building itself years ago, and they were like, no, that's foolish. They ended up putting girders. But I'm sure that's making like kilowatts, if not terawatts of energy, because those were big panels. Oh, good. Well, good. Share that with your wife. Share that with anyone who treats you well, because it's rare to find people who are on your team, and be grateful for those people when they're actually there. And I imagine a wife would be one of them. I had a wife, but she ended up not being one of them. But I am not bitter. I will learn from the experience. I will move forward, and that's what I'm doing now. Just kind of being me. And hopefully that positivity will ripple back at some point. I mean, this whole thing has been kind of a very bizarre exercise. And I don't just mean the YouTube thing. I mean the music and my last relationship. My ex-girlfriend used to say, I hate your music. I'm like, why the fuck are you with me? Why don't you get out? And it took forever for her to get out. But it kept me from doing, from pursuing my dreams and my careers and stuff like that. Because this is one of my dreams. If I can get monetized on YouTube, which I'm very close, then I'll feel like at least a certain amount of accomplishment. I won't be rich, but it's a little passive stream of income. If I can hit that, then as long as I keep, chugging along, wouldn't that be nice? And before that, I did the Spotify thing where I created a bunch of albums and uploaded those to Spotify. And when I got a little pay stream from that, I was like, okay, I felt good about myself. It was a positive, constructive thing that I did that will benefit me until the universe shifts again. I find it very challenging to keep your frame, which is another word for attitude, because, you can go into something, and if it's like, I'm a drinker, not a big drinker anymore, but I have a few beers at night. And one of the things I learned with alcohol over the course of my life is if you go into it with a negative mindset, you're going to have a miserable night. But if you go into it with a bit of positivity, most of the time that emotion will carry through. And now that I don't drink as often or as much in quantity, it becomes a little easier. Well, we even have, it's funny. We have self-control, But we have, in the end, we don't, because, we are a bag of chemicals. At some point, regardless of what my intent is, I cannot fight Mother Nature. I will have to urinate or defecate or something. Mother Nature will decide, no, 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 you have to do this. I exist within that system. I don't have control over it. But in regards to the way that I interact with others and my environment, well, then I like to say, yes, I have that degree of agency. And so long as I keep that in my head, it's very easy to keep swimming. And I'm just trying to keep swimming and not hurt anyone along the way. And it's such a stupid goal, but if I can get through this life without taking another's life, all right, I'll be happy with myself. I keep getting close to the camera because I'm having a hard time reading. We really do. We can control our attitude if we can maintain presence in the moment. Right now, life is okay. I'm not too cold. I'm not too hot. I'm certainly not at risk of dying. Got a nice Dr. Pepper here. I got, all of my basic living needs met in this moment. It might not be in the future and everything, the election, we don't know, or this, that, the other. Things that I can't change, they're out there in the future. But in the moment, I can go, all right. Things are all right. I got the basics, and I can start from here and go. I've got, not only do I have stuff done that I, work that I can show from the past, I can sit from this point and go forward and say, okay, what else can I build? What else? I like building. And I'm going to keep building until I die. And that doesn't necessarily mean, Legos or blocks or anything like that. Yeah, I know I'm working on another album. I have another thing George Carlin said is write everything down. And so I got a literal book that I write everything down. I don't know, it reads it backwards. But it says, be bold. And my next album, my albums that I've been working on, they're all in here. And now I've been trying out Chat GPT. Grace. Grace under pressure. I knew a girl named Grace. And that's that was a good time. All right. Hey, if you're under the age of 18, you shouldn't be watching me in the first place, and don't smoke. It's bad for you. And I know, I ain't dumb. I know full well that it ain't making me any better, but hey, we all got our cross to bear. I don't know if that's a relatable quote, but. And again, that I just did this on the back. Spontaneous, like, okay, let's try vertical streaming. I mean, how much different could it be? And it is a little late. Actually, it's not. The whole spring forward thing threw me for a loop. And it does every year. I don't know why. I knew it was coming. It's on the calendars and everything like that. Spring forward. You lose an hour. They suck an hour out of your life. But no, we aren't time lords. We can't do that stuff. Everyone pretends at the same time for the same, but no one really knows why. No one really wants to do it. But suddenly I get a bonus hour of sun, so I'm okay with it. I like my sun. I like my sunlight. It's supposed to be a little overcast tomorrow, so I'm glad I did my shooting today. I was planning on doing my shooting tomorrow. So I got it all done ahead of time. That's tonight's plan. I'm gonna be doing a little editing, edit a little piece together about the town in whence I live. The town hence I live. Hence I live. Hence. And anyway, the town that I live in, and the memories that come through it. Because I've lived here. I mean, I haven't always lived here, but I grew up in this town and in this school system. And then I moved different places. Like I lived in San Diego for a while. I lived in Providence for a while. I lived in a couple other places for a while. But I always ended up back here, because family was here. And I love the trees. Now, I just love the landscape and, and believe it or not, the people from this podunk little town. Yeah. So I'll keep going on my rant. But this little town has really grown on me because, when you're young, you're like, I got to get out to see where the action is. And I went out and I saw the action and I was like, I want to get back and see the inaction where it's stable and people aren't crazy. And they're still crazy here, but from on the surface is less crazy on the surface. Like I was like meeting those guys in public. They could have been douchebags. They weren't. They were pretty nice, despite the fact one was loaded. They were still peaceable. If you can be peaceable, all right, rock on. I'm not here to police, measure, and weigh the world. Just do the best I can with the interactions in front of me. But yeah, so after traveling the world, realized, you know what? It's not bad here. I mean, the winters are dog shit. But spring, summer, fall, it's a beautiful place to live. And it is. It's quiet, but that means no drama. And that's kind of the payoff we have. It's like that's one of the things that keeps me single is because if I'm single, there's no drama. I'm not fighting with anyone else around me because there's no one else around me if I live alone. I could. I mean, I've had offers. Oh, let me. No. I'm kind of red pilling where I'm just like, I'm going to take a break from, if someone wants to work for it, they want to do a song and dance and impress me, sure, but I'm not looking for it anymore. I need time to do my work, not time for other people's drama, if I can help it. I don't mind helping out here and there, but I'm not taking on another full-time job. That's not what a relationship is supposed to be. It's not what a partnership is supposed to be. The partner is someone who goes, hey, you know what? Either you appreciate what I'm doing or I appreciate what you're doing, and let's help each other to do that. That's what a real partnership is. And I never quite got it. I've come close, but, and I could be embittered by it, but I choose not to be. Because like I said, all my basic needs are met, and I'm still relatively happy. Despite the stuff that has gone on around me or in front of me, I'm still kicking. And I'm going to keep kicking. And it's like an imbecile. I am focused on certain things to kind of put the blinders on because I know there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world. But the stuff I can't control, and if I fixate on that, I think that takes away from the productivity that I could be doing now. And it seems to be working. So I've been focused on, getting back to the Renaissance fairs, because I found quite a bit of joy there, because I'm a goofy guy like that. And there are other goofy people there. And so at least there's a common thread. I have a loose sense of being accepted at the local Renaissance fair. So I get excited for that every year, and I keep expanding. Like last year, I'm like, I'll just go a couple times. I end up going almost every weekend. Because if I could, why wouldn't I? I mean, it's really so inexpensive to go. that you could, even if you go every day, it was like, yeah, it was say $16 a day. And I'm like, yeah, that's, compared to Comic Cons or any other event, that's exceedingly reasonable. And they got so much entertainment packed in there. And those are people, me being a YouTuber, those people want to be on camera. I know, because I asked them permission. I did it. I read it by the book. But, and then, from observing them and recording them over the years, I'm just like, I love these guys. I love this place. So that fixate on that helps me keep a positive attitude going forward. So that and the next album, because the YouTube thing's kind of taking a little bit of my time away from my music creation, but I'm still doing the writing. I just haven't recorded the actual tracks. I'm on the way, but I'll feel better when I have that done. It's like looking back on finished work, and I know pride's a sin, but I still like to look back and go, okay, yeah, I built that. I did that. Even if it sucks, I still did it. I mean, unless it's turning into like an evil Iron Man scenario where I built a robot that annihilated, or Oppenheimer, I don't think my music's going to do that. Nor do I think none of my art or none of my videos are going to do that. But I still get a sense of accomplishment for doing it. Because, when my videos have been getting a lot better. Like, if you look at the first couple videos on this, and please don't, that's the only thing. I should be going, no, like, share, subscribe. I don't care. and the stuff I put on at the beginning was boring. Boring. Very little editing. It was just kind of like me walking to different places and, talking. I've known how to edit for a while. But when I first started doing YouTube, I was just like, oh, let's just throw it up. It took forever to upload a video. So I was like, this isn't really my thing. But when I went back to it after the pandemic, because that kind of woke me up and like, wow, there's a lot of people who do this and they actually manage to make a living. And I'm like, can I be one of those people? And it's hard, but I think I'm going to get it. Let me show you the other thing I got. I got this, I got a calendar here. And those little X's, underneath every X, there's how many subscribers I got and then how many watch hours I have. Because I got enough subscribers to be monetized, but I'm still 413 watch hours away from getting any money in the bank from doing the YouTube channel. Hence, which was what brought me to doing this vertical live stream. I'm like, let's give that a shot. I don't know what I'll just do it. Here I am just doing it. And you guys are subtly entertained. Or you're subtly entertained. I mean, so thanks. Thanks for being entertained. Thanks for listening. Because it's getting attention when other people are doing terrible stuff. Everything on YouTube is like, this person did this, this person did that. It's like, it's never positive. So I, want to do some good. I want to do some positive juju. I like to put off the positive juju. And a lot of people do comment on that. Even just looking at me. A lot of people will come up to me and they'll go, hey, you got a lot of good energy coming off you. And I'm like, oh, good. Glad it's not shitty energy. And I know but I've had bad energy before. So I'm glad that, other people recognize that. And go, oh, no, he's a little different. A little special, some might say. I'm a little special. Hello, my name's Kevin G Nicholson. I'm a little special. And I keep slipping at the different voices. And then I start making fun of myself. Yes. You're quite amusing. I think you should stop with the accents immediately. There is no way I will stop. doing the silly things with my voice, because if I stop that, then I am not amused, and I need to be amused while I do this stuff that I do. And if you got a problem with that, well, I didn't force you to click on the watch button. Anyone got a gun to your head saying you gotta watch this? No, you chose to. You used free will. You went and click and hit the like and do all the stuff they tell you to do. It does help, but no one does it anyway. All right, if you're my fan now, go back into all my videos, hit like on every little one of them. You don't have to watch them, just go and click, 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 click. I think that would end up hurting me just as much. I can dream. And I'm going to keep dreaming. I can't believe I've been pontificating for 51 minutes just on a whim. Are we still there? The Falconer and Adams Crack. Fire Whip show. He's pretty funny as, well, no, I was looking for background. Oh! Fallout. Are you playing Fallout Shelter? Or no, you're saying Fallout, which is a different game in and of itself. I just did a game called Fallout Shelter. It's like a 2D side slider. And I was very disappointed at the end. But Fallout, that's like a game where you get to don't you get to shoot other people? Isn't that how that works in Fallout? I like those when I got the controllers, but I don't have the video game controllers. I'm using this, which is a you can see where the smoker's hand has been. It's a Bluetooth trackball / mouse, and that way I can do it here. But I got all these screens in front of me, which is funny because I'm not using either one of them. I'm just using my cell phone on Mint Mobile, I might add. The service is actually halfway decent, and it's really cheap. And so, thank you, Ryan Reynolds, not only for Deadpool, but for my Mint Mobile subscription. And I'm sure he'll end up selling it to some douche later on, but I don't have to worry about it. In the moment, things are good. And I do get to laugh at Deadpool. I thought Deadpool was hysterical the first time I saw it. And I will occasionally go back and watch it again because I like irreverent humor. I have been described as an irreverent sort of fella. And I would agree. There are things I do have reverence for, but in general, it's all kind of a joke. If you look at my interaction with Paulie Pesta, that's the girl who circled me, the girl dressed up in the jester outfit. I went back to the fair, and she just pranced around me in circles for 4 minutes. And me, I wasn't quite sure what she was doing, but I had my camera, so I'm keeping her center frame as she's circling me. So I'm essentially spinning in a little circle for 4 minutes. You do get dizzy, but I kept her center frame all the way through it. The romantic part of me goes, she was probably flirting, but she was also in character, so I can't tell if it was genuine or not. She might have just been showing off for the camera. But it wasn't a gold star. Dial up. I remember dial up. I remember the noise that went with it too. It's really weird. The dangers that come with this technology are phenomenal. but at the same time, what we can do, holy, you know, I got the camera here, the camera there, two big flat screen TVs on either side, a big LED ring, and then everything is interconnected by Wi-Fi, wireless communication between all these devices. Really? It's like I'm the technological Gandalf at this point. Look at this. Look at the lights I've made behind. You shall not pass. Oh, wait, it'll pass. I had some Metamucil. Some Metamucil, it'll pass. So, actually, in smaller circles, they call me Gandalf the Cream. Actually, that's a circular one. Okay, what's a circle thing? Yeah. Try to keep the. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see, is there like, I want a Disney World for adults where you don't have to worry about sexual harassment or anything like that. It's just like all rule, like a wasteland sort of scenario where you can go. There are no rules, but that's the thing. You got to sign a waiver before you go in saying, okay, there's no rules in order to go in there. That means you got, you can't sue anyone. And then if you could do that, I think that would be a fantastic place. Like I'd set it up like Disney World, whereas like, remember they have like the teacup ride? I'd have like the mad teabag ride. And so it'd be like, testicles hitting you in the face as you spin around in a little dish. It'll be very good for certain communities. No, it's just, everything's so saccharine and so sanitized and so homogenized. It's like, even you can't even really go to bars anymore because, there's always got 4 or 5 cruises just waiting for anyone to come out with a couple of drinks and, in them. It's not fun anymore. Yes, as we've stated at the beginning of the stream, I'm not well, but I'm pretty fucking funny, I think. Funny looking, funny smelling. As far as I know, I ain't funny tasting, but I haven't had a food. See, there's a bit there. I do a little stand up, by the way. So some of it's just coming out from stuff that some of the stuff that I've tried on stage. There's there's a video on my channel, which is what was it, indecent exposure, where I went on stage and brought a colander up, and then I poured a bunch of almonds in the colander, and I got a big pitcher of water, and I poured it over the colander, and everyone's like, "Well, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "This is indecent exposure. I'm washing my nuts in public," and they thought they laughed. It was like it was a good bit, but it wasn't fast paced enough. But ultimately, every time I go to like an open mic, I always regret it because it's just such it's not a funny. You would expect it would be a funny vibe when you get a bunch of comedians together, but there's like a vibe of competition and despair. It's on YouTube. I don't know if they even got a link to me somewhere on this. They must. But some of the stuff, let me tell you, let me share a little story. The best video, when I say the best, I don't mean the best in my eyes. One video I've gotten the most views on out of all the videos that I put up over the last decade is called Painting Vagina. And it's just me being like a 14-year-old boy and going, oh, you know what? What was her name? Georgia O'Keeffe. She used to paint flowers all the time. And she used to comment that they looked like vaginas. And I said, you know what? Just to be goofy and to kind of give an F you to the feminists, I'm going to paint a vagina. And and it was silly and it was stupid and it wasn't a good video piece. It was just a joke. And then 2 years later, it just blew up. And currently has like 232,000 views. So 232,000 people have seen my freshly painted vagina. I get to say that, and it's true. But I don't understand it. I don't understand why it went big. I don't understand why people still visit it. It still gets like a couple visits every day. It's just me painting. It's not even a good vagina. I mean, it's not like pseudo photoreal. It was more like abstract art, really. But it was just the glib nah underneath it. But I don't understand the YouTube stuff very much either. Despite I've been putting a lot of effort, a lot of hours watching there. How to understand the algorithm? No one knows. I mean, I keep trying the stuff that they've been teaching. I ain't. Oh, everything's fine. It'll be fine. Slowly but surely. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Modern technology goes out on its own, so I don't burn myself down, which is a distinct possibility considering I really am. I'm surrounded nothing but by wires and electricity right now. I accidentally wet the bed. I'm done. And look at all these tendrils coming down. And they all join at the base of my spine. I'm like a Borg entity. Oh, man. This has been an interesting time. But I've been at this for about... Yeah. That's the one thing that keeps me hoping is that, well, that blew up 2 years after I posted it. And then just exploded. And I'm like, well, maybe some of my other like real stuff. I mean, I'm grateful that, I mean, that's still like 200,000 people who've seen my face. So I guess that's a good thing. I mean, period. It's kind of like a little tiny degree of fame, I guess. Because I have been recognized from my channel. Not often, but occasionally. The Ren Fair mostly, though. And a lot of them know me by name now, too, which is funny. I'm going to see if I can do that to Paulie Festa when I go back this year. I'm going to call her out because I've never talked to her as a real person. I've only talked to the character Paulie Festa. But I'm going to see if I can make the... It would be weird to see if I can get her to say my name in character if she knows who I am. That was after the little skipping episode. So I'm going to see if I can pull that off sometime this year. I know it's a silly sort of plan, but it's a plan. It ain't hurting anybody. But that I got so much. I've uploaded like 1,400 videos between shorts, live streams. I mean, that's a lot of videos. That's a lot of work. And granted, some of it was a lot more work than others. Where I really, back before they had AI to do all this stuff, I was putting stuff in manually, like the text on screen and stuff like that. So that's the other reason why I'm trying this right now. I'm trying the vertical live stream is because supposedly there are tools that go with this. And I did the filters earlier and I'm like, all right, filters, great. Yeah, you want to do filters? Can I do filters? Yeah, let's do the bubbles. Why? Because, well, they're bubbles. How could I not? There we go. Fantastic. It's just bubbles. But it's okay because it covers my face. And in the end, I think I'm pretty. But I don't think most other people think I'm pretty. And that's all right. Because I'm the only guy who's going to look in the mirror. I haven't been doing too good at playing the game, but at least I don't have to keep scrolling and you do talk kind of like me during convo. Oh, squirrel too much. Squirrel. Squirrel. I have been pontificating all over the place. Let's do the Dawn filter. Yeah, that doesn't see, the filters, it's like they got all these little perks and stuff, but eh. Do dance party. How about that? That's right. But if this were an actual dance party, you wouldn't be able to hear. It does kind of look like a dance party, though. If I just do the... What? What did you say? Come home with you? Oh, no, sexual assault. Oh, oh, it doesn't matter what I say. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. It does. It's kind of like, all you need is that thump, 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 and a little tinnitus noise. Which, if I were doing this live stream, I could actually put those sound effects in. But no, wait. Let's do the trippy one. Let's do the psychedelics. Oh, so I smoked this doobie, and oh, my headspace. I mean, it's neat that they do it, but this isn't the, it's supposed to be about watching another human being, I thought. And the thing is, it's funny because there used to be this thing called M-Player. And I want to say it was the early 2000s, where you had a bunch of rooms and people could go on with their webcams and everyone would interact and talk on them. Well, government didn't like that, so they ended up shutting it down because, of course, kids got in there, and all of a sudden someone who's underage is flashing this, that, or the other thing. So then they got to crack down on that, and so much oversensitivity about, someone saw a nipple. Who cares? Didn't hurt anybody. Want to pop off? Because, let me tell you, in the dead of cold of winter, my nipples shoot off my chest like projectiles. They're still sticking in the neighbor's house over there. Gets so cold in the winter. And I don't like that. And I don't think anyone should go to jail for it. It is kind of trippy. Let's go back to the dance party. What? What's your name? What's your name again? You got the DJ in the background going, hey, everybody say yeah. No one says anything. You hear crickets. I can't believe it. I literally have been talking for like 70 minutes straight. It's like if you had been watching a movie, if there was like an entire feature-length movie could have played in the time that I've been pontificating and just blah, 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 blah. Ooh, Dave, man. Dave's not here, man. And remember those guys, Cheech and Chong? They used to be the big pro stoner guys and comedians before it was all legal. And now it's all legal, but they still try. They still tried to get Cheech in jail, or was it Chong? It was Chong. Tommy Chong. They tried to throw him in jail for selling bongs or something stupid. Way too much oversight. But hey, again, I have no control over any of that. I do have control of where I'm at now, and grateful to be here. Grateful it was a sunny day today. Grateful I got the old guitar. Where's the guitar? I'm going to get the guitar because I should Period. I've reached the age now where everything's starting to, whereas I used to bend like rubber. And then, but now that I've aged up, now everything pops when I move. I'm curious on how I'm really curious to see how the audio comes through, because it's a cell phone. McMuffin. I had a McMuffin this morning for breakfast. And now it's flown out, wait, out my butthole. McMuffins are terrible. Oh, excuse me. Curious, I'm gonna listen to that later to see the. Why? What were you saying? I said McMuffin. Is there something wrong with a McMuffin? Yes, there is something. It's digestively impractical. You want to talk about oversensitivity? My colon and McMuffins. McMuffins aren't for me. Hey, you guys don't know me, so I get to do this, and it's new for you. This right here, let me show you. This is my, let me turn the filter off. No filter. I said no filter. McDonald's equals cancer. Is it off? Did I turn it off? I think I turned it off. This right here is my LED bow tie. And it gives me superpowers because I could switch it to the pulsating one and it will give you seizures because that's what it was created for. So you can repel your super opponent with the LED bow tie. Used to work at McDonald's a few times over the course of my life. Never ended well. Yeah, just like most businesses and corporations, they don't appreciate the good work that you do for them. Ever. Yeah, well, thanks. We made money off you now. On your way. We don't want to give you a raise now that you've been here for a little bit. Or someone buys them out and they go, yeah, we ain't going to give you a raise either. So there's no point in all that work you just put in the last couple decades. Almost every place, it's like they give me like a certificate. Like I get so many employees of the month and so many awards for this, that, and the other, and I always ended up getting either fired or let go in some capacity or the other immediately after I got the damn certificate. It's like, don't give me certificates, just keep the just, it's weird how life works. I'll tell you, let's see if this helps. It still seems so dark, and it's still a little dark. It's amazing. I'll have to do some more testing. The battery's on the phone. Luckily, I'm plugged right in. I should be good for well, hypothetically, indefinitely. I use another camera. Yeah, let me show you. I use a Sony Handycam, and it's very tiny, unlike the stuff we used to use back in the day. Hold on a second. Which means I gotta go back here in my production area and plug it and bring it back around. All right, there. This is the little thing I've been using. I've been using this for like a decade, and for something so small and something so, it still works like a champ. It holds so much video, and all I got to do is plug it in. It goes right in. Back in the old days, we used to have to take videotapes and then run it through a process, and that process would break. Modern technology's come a long way. And on that front, I guess I'm grateful for that. Oh, the bow tie. The bow tie gets about half an hour, which is, it's, I imagine, you can't lower illumination, which I imagine would extend the battery power. It's one of those small little round batteries, but hey, it's good enough for the shots. And it's very handy when I do night shoots, because I go out in that and people are like, hey, what are you doing? Is that really light? And I'm like, yeah, it is. It creates a little conversation. And that's great when you're holding the camera, because, most of the time, if someone's holding the camera, most people go the other way. They're like, I don't want to be filmed. You got to kind of get comfortable with it, and you have to realize, you also want to know that the guy who's holding the camera isn't looking for a reason to, nail you for something, because it is empirical evidence. The moment that you take video of something, that's encapsulating and archiving a moment. So I understand why people would be like, nah, don't film me. And I always try to be respectful of that. But also over the years, I've had to learn the laws, and where, like, in public, you can shoot anyone as long as you're in public, in plain public, then you can shoot anyone, anything. And again, even with that, knowing that, I'm not looking to get in anyone's face or create drama for the sake of the excitement. It's, but people who are willing to show up and willing to engage, well, that human interaction, that's rare. So, with that, you're like, it's, I like it when people give me a little of that back and forth. That's why this is kind of fun for me, is because you guys, you have been texting here and there and kind of, hey, what about this? Hey, this is what's going on. And that allows me to keep going. Because if you have nothing, if I'm just sitting here looking into a camera going, look at me, I'm just kind of spatial. You believe I'm spatial? Yeah, you do. Why wouldn't you? I mean, listen to me. I mean, look at you. Look at me. Have you seen me? I'm kind of spatial. Oh, I don't know why I'm getting tired. I know why I'm getting tired. It's because my Dr. Pepper is running low. So what happens when my Dr. Pepper runs low? Essentially, I end up going to the fridge and I end up getting the worst alcohol that you can get on the planet. It's called natural ice. And it's horrible. And the thing is it's the key is to not enjoy it, and then that reminds you it reminds me, of how I can be a functioning alcoholic by only drinking at night. So that makes it okay. But it's terrible. But after you've had two, you don't care anymore because your sense of taste, your sense of style, your sense of, where you are, gone. And then I get to go nappy nap. I like nappy naps. Do I sound like an imbecile when I say nappy naps? Good. Because true wisdom, knowing as I am an imbecile. I saw a big thing on YouTube, of course, about eugenics recently. I don't know if you know what that is. That's where they used to go around going, okay, that person's stupid. They can't have kids. So let's give them a old snip snip. And they went around America in the early 1900s, snip a snip a snip a snip. PBR, because it's horrible. We used to do that. I would go to this music festival called Strange Creek, and it's up in Greenfield, Massachusetts, and it happens, they have Strange Creek in the spring, which happens like towards the end of May, and then they have another event called Wormtown, and that's in the fall, and that's generally around September. And it's a weekend event where you bring your tent and your cooler and a bunch of beer, and you hang out there for the entire weekend, and they have bands playing on stages all across the event. And that was chugging beer. We had PBR, we put that in the funnel, and then we suck it down with the funnel, which in hindsight probably wasn't very smart, but it was entertaining, and I did live through it pretty well. But that was the thing, is I learned the funnel at one of those music festivals. But yeah, you know what? It is 10:01 p.m. It is March 13th, 2024. My name's Kevin G Nicholson. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to grab myself a beer, and I'll be back in less than 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're back. That was 10 seconds exactly. Isn't that amazing? Look at this. This is garbage. Oh. But this garbage is 5.9% alcohol. And I am in the privacy of my own home. Oh. Thanks for hanging out, Eric. I appreciate having someone to jibby to, someone to pontificate at, someone to interact. Oh, that's just wretched. This is what evil tastes like. If there was a taste that went with evil, this is it right here. Here, watch my face. Oh God, is that terrible? It's gross. Why are you drinking it? Because it's, sometimes it's like the taste of death, and then you have more appreciation of the life flavors. No, it's been a weird but pleasant day. Again, proving to me that I know nothing. Because I've been riffing all day. I don't have a solid everyday plan, but I kind of have my own routines. I think we all fall into routines after a while. But I went out of that routine today, and it's been strangely rewarding. To assume is to make an ass out of you and me. I remember that bit. I remember that bit. See, another 2 beers in, it's not going to matter. But then you'll see a deterioration in my intelligence. Excuse me. And you hear a lot more of that probably. But that is accompanied by a little bit of humor. And then that means the end of the stream. That's how I'm playing it tonight. Because I'm hanging out with you, man, for a little bit longer. Unless you get bored, you got something to do. But this has been an intriguing day. I'm using all these words because I've been doing. I've been exploring ChatGPT. If you don't know what that is, that's AI interactive programming where you can go, hey, can you write me a script that's like going to win me a Pulitzer? And then it gives you a script, and it doesn't win you anything, but it's a decent script. And so I've been using it to get ideas for, okay, what's my shot order for this series of clips, or, I've been trying to bounce ideas off it. And I'm doing the $20 a month paid version. And I think I'm going to keep it for 1 more month because I've been using it for thumbnails and stuff, and that's been kind of handy. And I think in the end, time saving. But so I've been using a lot of ChatGPT, and as I'm doing it, I'm asking for different words for different things, and they're going, oh, have you tried this word? Have you tried the word pontificate? I'll try that. That sounds fascinating. I'll use pontificate. And I'll go, oh, have you done this? Have you done this word? Oh, that one's that's fascinating. I didn't know that word existed. I don't know why I went all old English on that one, but not like an old Englishman. I've never been so insulted in all my life. You gotta do the blah, blah, blah? Pretty sure. That's English, right? Not like the Little Mermaid, the guy like, yes, quite amusing. Pretty sure that's English. I mean, United Kingdom English, right? Because you talk about Boston English. Well, Boston's a different mat altogether. Boston. Ah, it's awful. Wicked pisser out here in Boston. And that's where I get the taste for natural ice. Please drink responsibly. Because if you drink irresponsibly, you're going to jail. They're imprisoning everybody. Mass incarcerations for even crimes with no damage whatsoever. Well, they're going to get you. Welcome to America, the free country. And we know free means you don't pay. What's that? An extinguished gentleman. I think you meant distinguished gentleman. An extinguished gentleman would be like someone who has water poured on them. Which I will not reenact because, I like being dry at the moment. Love my hot showers, but, when I'm dry, I'm dry. I'll stay dry. I'm trying to take a lesson from Bontecune here. Who was watching when I first started streaming. And he's talking about he's not a fan of Jimmy Kimmel. And I don't really know a Jimmy Kimmel fan. And I talk to a lot of people, and I've never once heard a guy go, I really like Jimmy Kimmel. He seems like a swell guy. He's terribly entertaining. What a fascinating No. And again, I got no ill will towards Jimmy Kimmel, but I figure that's kind of like, maybe that's kind of why I am where I'm at. I figure I'm Jimmy Kimmel-ish, I guess, in the fact that I wear a bow tie occasionally. Excuse me. And he did get to bang Sarah Silverman. Oh, what a smoke show she was. So I'm not allowed to say that, am I? Oh, Sarah Silverman. Oh, she was so hot. She's still pretty hot for her age. And she was pretty funny. She was one of the few comedians that I found was Dice. Hickory dickory dock. This chick was sucking my cock. Oh! Little boy Blue. He needed the money. Hey! That's where this came from. I can't. I think it's the other way around. The fact that I still remember all that stuff. It really is. It's ingrained. Like all the Dice stuff. And yeah, but I used to love. But he was funny, and even his movies like The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, hysterical. They do that. They're falling out of the Capitol Records building, and so they got the camera spinning on each character, and so but the hair is moving on all the characters every time they spin, and they cut the dice, and he goes, my hair, you're still spinning, but nothing else is moving. He's just going, my hair. I thought he was so funny. And he did Brain Smasher. That was with that other guy. See, I remember the 90s and the 2000s as having the most beautiful women. The most, no, they just aren't the same nowadays. The palette, my palette has changed. Full packs in 3 hours. Who pays $1 million for a watch? No, that I remember they had him on SNL, but because he couldn't be free to do his stuff, he wasn't really as funny because he had to kind of self-censor. But hey, he got used a lot. He's still going. He's still doing stand-up. I don't think he's selling out stadiums, but he's still getting booked. Dice Clay, and that's so that time. But if you could tell, the ultimate impact on me was Dennis Leary. You know what? I haven't played that in a long time too. I wonder if I still can. That's actually, if you go back through, if you ever if you get bored sometime and poke back through my channel, there's actually, I do I do Dennis Leary's Asshole. I do a music video of it where I'm playing him and I'm lip syncing to him. And it was pretty, it was I want to say 95, 96 that it was shot and done. And I used to do it perfectly. And I used to actually perform that on stage with a band later on. I didn't get paid for that. That was just because I was good at it. And it was the only song I really knew perfectly. And so they'd bring me up every once in a while. And they'd go, Kevin, why don't you do Asshole? And so I'd go up and I'd sing it. And I'd charge the audience up. And then they'd have to always cut for break because they couldn't follow. Because I was so vibrant. And I was when I was young. I was like, look at me, look at me. Now I'm like, why don't you dance for me, monkey? I ain't dancing for you unless you're paying me good. That's it's weird. It's because of the woman thing. After I didn't want to show off for women particularly, and I was just like, you know what? That's just going to lead to drama. I'm just going to enjoy myself. And then the world changed. It tilted a little to the left, and I'm tilting to the right, just so you know. While people behind me are going insane, I'm so young, See, it's still there. It's still in the synapses. But now, see, with the smoking and with the aging, I can't quite knock that out without taking a couple deep breaths somewhere in the performance. And it was funny because he did that album, and then he did No Cure for Cancer, and then the one after that, which I don't even remember the name of it. And then that was pretty much the end. Then he went to acting, made a good chunk, did that Firefighters TV show, and he's still kicking as far as I know. But and still smoking as far as I know too. On principle, a true New Englander. Hey, Matt, you know what? I was doing something for you today. I went out to the field. I went to the old Killingly High School and filmed the bleachers and all the stuff that were around there. I took some photographs and did some video. They put up solar panels in the parking lot. I was amazed, and they're huge. They're like terawatts, big. They're like, and it's a great idea because, that parking lot used to get hot. That's energy worth capturing. But yeah, so I was out there. It's that's going to help power things too. And granted, my electric bill's only going to go up because, hey, look at all this. But still. No, so I went out there and I filmed there, and then I went to Davis Park and I started filming. And then people kind of got involved, and it turned into a couple shorts that I posted up. And then I came back here to edit, and then I'm like, well, let's try doing the vertical live streaming because this is new for some reason. I want to say probably in the next couple days, like the stuff that I did of the, that's going to be a real video, a real long form video, where our shorts are just like pointing the camera and then going, hey, this is what's going on. And I haven't even moved those files yet into the computer because they're still here. They have not made it from here into the technology. But it will happen. So I'm going to say in the next couple of days. But I got to look at it and put it all together. But no, but it was a nice day, so I got out of the house and I specifically went out there to do that. And boy, the tennis courts, like one of them looks all right, the other one looks like, I'm surprised people aren't living back there. and even all the signs that are still posted that probably don't apply because nothing really happens over there anymore. But it's no, that'll be going up in the next few days, I'm sure, because I didn't shoot it to let it sit. Although that's not to be said. Sometimes if I shoot something and it sucks, like I was talking about the open mics, if I go to open mics and everyone's bits are terrible, then I don't post them. I just go, it was a loss of the day. And I move on to the next project. But it's easy to get, memories from Danielson. So I've been doing the thing, this vertical live streaming, and it gives me, let's do that. It gives me these filters, which I don't know if it particularly adds to this, but I was playing with it. And then my buddy in here, the dance party is probably the coolest one because it actually looks like a dance party. But the only thing you're missing is that thumpita, thumpita, thumpita. And then leaning forward and going, what? What'd you say? My house? Looks like that, doesn't it? Yeah. Wow. Everything's come together. Let's see, that's the thing. Molly. I haven't done Molly in a while. It's scary because, that's one of those things where it's like you have it so good for a short period of time where can you possibly have anything better? And so like you're so skewed to having such a good experience, man. I mean, look at the colors, man. I could feel music, and hear sunbeams. Come out to Tucson, Arizona. What was it? It was. Wait, isn't Phoenix is in Arizona too, right? I actually predicted in a song that porn stars are going to fly me out to Phoenix. I'm pretty sure I have that song in my repertoire somewhere. Not my guitar repertoire, in my album repertoire. I'd go out there. Although I'm not leaving New England anytime in the near future. We're just getting to the good weather. Like today was like, oh, I was so teased by how beautiful it was today out here. It was like when you can stand outside and it doesn't hurt. That's the weather I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to, plants and green stuff coming back and growing things. Oh, it's getting. There we go. That right there. That'll do it. So yeah, you caught me at the. I've been pontificating for about a good hour in here, almost 2 hours, and I just started it's Natty Ice time. Little Natalie going right from here right to the beer belly. Potter Street. It's funny because I was there. I suppose I could have shot Potter Street. Tell you what, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do a special trip next time I go about because I do tend to do those. Yeah, how's about this one from Vapor Trails? This ain't the dance party. This is the dream sequence. This is why I'm swaying so you can see my fade. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, so I'm stoked. I'm gonna put that up, and I'll post that. Oh, what's that? Data usage alert. Oh, it's probably telling me I'm out of gigabytes to stream. Although I should have probably turned this off so I could do it via Wi-Fi rather than direct. Yeah, you'll live, you'll learn. It's all right. I'll learn it eventually. If you can come back when the weather's awesome, it's great. If you can go anywhere where the weather's awesome, it's great. 50s and no winds was what we had today, and it was beautiful. Yeah, wind is my enemy. Wind is always my enemy. Because when I have an art gallery an outdoor gallery that I post in the late spring, early summer when I know it's going to be calm for a little bit. But there have been days I've tried to set up and the wind just tears those suckers right off the line. The wind is not my friend. I could take the rain over the wind any day. It's funny because I do karaoke. I would sing karaoke again. I would never host karaoke again. My last 4 or 5 experiences being a karaoke DJ were so miserable. I was just like, ugh. And I can stay up, but some people just go, oh God. But hey, you never know. The Maury's might be reopening, or maybe I'll go to Phoenix. I'll have resources in the next year. Well, at the end of this next year. Maybe those porn stars will fly me to Phoenix. And then I can just travel about. Because, it'll be a good thing. By the way, give me a like and a subscribe there, buddy. If you're not already, you probably already subscribed. But you gotta hit the little thing. That triggers the algorithm, I guess. I've been studying all about the algorithm. 9-hour flight. What if I could probably drive that too? I'm gonna need a new car. Yeah, it's on my list. I would do it. But 9 hours, that ain't nothing. I went to Amsterdam. That was a long flight. They ended up getting me on, they have medium-sized planes over there where they're not like full. I mean, you get on the big ones where you go like at the major airports, and then you get the tiny ones like Danielson Airport where they're like that big. But they had medium, that's the first time I ever saw a medium-sized plane. And I was like, oh, this is a little odd. But brought me right into Holland. 39-hour drive. I could do that. I'd rather do it with a partner, though. I don't think I'd want to do that one on my own. I mean, I could, but... I mean, I could film a lot on the way. Again, always better to I think I can drag someone with me, I think, if I'm going to do that. See, I'm making plans. This is where the planning happens. This is where thank you. It's where it all starts. With just a little spark, that little idea. And all of a sudden, I'm going to be fighting at your side as the migrants try to cross the border. Yeah. See, I've never driven all the way across. The longest drive I ever did is I went all the way to Kansas for a girl because I was young. And but yeah, I drove all the way out to Kansas and back, from Providence to Kansas, back to Providence. And what a weird thing that was. Sorry, I drifted. I was like, man, that was a hell of a... Do lizards drink alcohol? I would think that, because they're cold-blooded. They probably couldn't do any of that, could they? Can you get a lizard drunk? I've never tried. What's the benefit of getting lizards drunk? I'm sitting here and I'm contemplating it, and like, I don't find lizards to be too productive just by their existence in general. Like, I guess they eat bugs. I mean, what else they eat fruit, right? Bugs and fruit. What else? Do they do anything for us? Like, bees make honey, right? What do lizards make? Lizard poop. We use that. Is that a natural resource? I don't know how I left turned onto the lizards. It's all right. It's been a good day. And again, you'll enjoy the video later. Fear and Loathing. Oh, I haven't seen that in a long, long time. But I remember seeing it. And I remember kind of feeling it was that was Johnny Depp who played that role, right? But when he was playing that role, it always gave me the vibe of Evil Dead. Who was the lead actor in Evil Dead? Help me out here. See, again, I haven't seen that in a long time. Oh. Why can't I remember his name? It's going to bother me. Okay. Alexa, who is the star of the Evil Dead movies?
The Evil Dead stars include Bruce Campbell,
Bruce
Ellen
Campbell,
Santos, and Richard Meninker.
That's the only time you're useful. Yeah, he was. I thought that character reminded me very much. He did remind me of Bruce Campbell, but I think that was Depp. Before his wife tried to steamroll him with U2-ness. Ooh, that bothered me. I didn't know who Amber Heard was before that, but I knew I didn't like her immediately after I heard it. And not like Aquaman was ever going to be a big thing, even though Jason Momoa makes panties drop across America. It's a dumb character. I get it. It's nice there for the balance and for a little flavor, but Aquaman's bullshit. We got fish. There'll be no fish. You use fish to save the world? There's a giant cone of light coming down from the finger of God. What are your fish gonna do? And don't get me wrong, I like fish. I like it when dolphins come up to people and, and they're nice to them and they're friendly. And then you learn that dolphins are very aggressive in their affections. Was there a Super Bowl commercial? Like, because I didn't watch the last I haven't watched any Super Bowls. To be quite frank, I think I've watched one ever in my life. I've just never been invested. But I know that the commercials that I've gone back and I've watched commercials because some of the commercials were better. I was never interested in the game, but the halftime shows, especially, we almost got to look at a Jackson nipple. And wasn't that swell? Stopped the country for a year and a half because everyone was outraged. Louis, yeah, I don't know if you know who Louis Black is, but he's a comedian. He talks about that day. The day everyone lost their minds. Oh my God, there it is. We have to go back and see that frame. Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? See? It's all come full circle, folks. Full circle back to the present. Where now you have to watch me drink. You don't have to, but you're watching me drink this terrible beer. But it's almost number one, almost done. Let me see, I gotta lean forward to read it. Jason Momoa. I'll have to take a look. I'll look for that after I stop streaming. Because I know sometimes those are pretty funny. And Momoa, actually, I think I might have actually even seen what you said, but I'm going to go back and look again. That's his saving grace, is that he's very, he's got a lot of masculine energy, but he's still kind of like, he's still able to pull off a little humility at the same time. And that's a tricky thing to do, but he manages to do it. So I got to give him kudos for that. And he was pretty good in Game of Thrones. And he was pretty good in Stargate Atlantis. And oh God, he was terrible as Conan though. Oh, did you see the Conan with him? With Jason Momoa? Oh, I mean, it's not Arnold. Arnold and James Earl Jones. Come on, you can't beat that. I don't know if you guys have any interest, or if you have any interest in the new Dune movies just came out, or the second part of the Dune saga just came out. And I didn't realize the first one, but in the second one, Christopher Walken is the emperor of the absolute universe. And I thought, how fitting. And he did a good job, too. I love Christopher Walken. And he can dance. That's part of the reason why I love Christopher Walken. I can't believe I've been rambling for 2 hours straight. I really just blah, 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 blah. Well, it's because you hang out. You get what you pay for. In this particular case, bubble filter. SpongeBob with his let me, if you're into that sort of thing, and I am, I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was good. I really liked it. And I honestly kind of wish that I was close enough to like you can't stream it yet. I ended up watching a crack of it because I wanted to see it because I was that intrigued. But the image quality that I was watching it at was terrible. But I'm sure it's gonna be fabulous. And like if you watch it in a theater or whatever they're releasing it on, yeah, I would. From what I saw, I would suggest that. I'm gonna take another dive at both of them because I watched the first one again to try to catch up. Because I used to do that like before Game of Thrones would start every season. I'd like rerun all the prior ones to make sure I was caught up, and I had it all. It was like I was getting ready for a test or pop quiz. So yeah, those I would recommend them. And I'm kind of a sci-fi nerd, and I mean I'm not enough of a sci-fi nerd to get into a fight over Star Wars versus Star Trek. I mean Star Trek, obviously. But yeah, I certainly I enjoy that because they predict so much and they get it right so often. In the late '80s, I think there was a TV show called Max Headroom, and all the science fiction that was in that show they called. It's happening right now. It's even more prevalent now than it was in their version of this dystopian future, and we're there all the way to the migrants and the people, televisions in the streets, and they predicted right on the nose. So I've always had a kind of an eye on sci-fi as going, you can dream it, you generally get there in one fashion or another. And I'm curious, like, was there a follow-up book to Brave New World? Because that, I don't think there could have been, because it seems to me that civilization just crashed and burned. In which case, well, it was nice hanging with you, folks. I'm going to grab me another beer. It'll take me 15 seconds this time because I ain't going to rush. Nope. Oh, crack. And the beer, I'll tell you what, let's take two. I am not a role model, folks. 2 beers, double fisting. Yeah. Orville. I liked the Orville, although I'm growing cold on Seth MacFarlane, despite the fact he was really edgy for a while. There's a program called Kodi, Kodi, and it allows you to stream stuff, and generally you get it from like Pakistan or something like that. But you can get like real low, like you're not going to see much in high def, but it's free and the legality is shaky, but no one's arrested me yet. But yeah, I'll go back. I'll watch like old Doctor Who episodes on it or Star Trek episodes on it. But it also allows me to take a look at rips up of movies that are in the theaters now. And so, if I'm really chomping at the bit, I mean, because I'll end up probably buying the DVDs. Because if I feel like the Lord of the Rings series, everything, all of that I have on DVD. Because it was good. You got meat to chew on. It's a story. It tells a full story. Before I tell my own full story. Right? It was, so horribly good. After this, I won't taste this anymore. Yeah. Yeah, I know, exactly. And occasionally you can hear like people in the theater sitting down and stuff. And so you're not getting the full theatrical experience. You're getting like, oh, well, I get to hear the story because I'm too impatient to wait for an actual version of it. Yeah, so sue me. But yeah, too late. But no, I'll see that. And generally, if I see something that's really good as a rip or somewhere out, I'll find my way to it and I'll purchase the media so the people get what they deserve. People deserve to get paid for the work they put into it. But at the same time, I don't think it hurts them that much if I get a little sample, a little off the front end going, give me a sample, see if I like it. If I like it, I'll buy it. But yeah, I ain't going in blind all the time. It really does look like that. Like you couldn't see anything in the rip. It was very, very dark. Of Dune, anyway. And but it was epic. And again, Christopher Walken as the Emperor of the Universe, worth it just right there. Because it's Christopher Walken. Once you have Walken in a winter wonderland, I don't think you get it. That's not terrible. It's not a horrible Walken. He danced in this video for Weapon of Choice. And that's what made me fall in love with him, though. I love Christopher Walken because he can dance. He's got a little goof in him. It's like, yeah, just have a little fun with it. I'm like, that's right, Christopher Walken. I want to be like you right now as you're dancing to this silly song. Nice still. If Christopher Walken, if you walk in on the stream, if Christopher walked in on the stream, thank you for existing. Thank you for entertaining. Thank you for showing me how to do, what was it? The mole? That was funny. So yeah, what else? And I saw the Hunger Games, the new one, and the whole series following it. Because once I got a taste of the new one, which again was kind of a rip, and but the story wasn't bad, and it was featuring it was the Hunger Games from President Snow's perspective while he was still a young idealistic lad, and how it all turned. And I get it. Boy, they really kind of called out off of Joe Dirt. Talking about Joe Dirt, the movie with, what was that dude's name? He's whiny. And kind of rude. And I guess that's why people find him funny. David Spade, I think his name is. Did I get that right? And this whole thing was just kind of like, well, I'll be a douchebag and people will laugh. I'm not quite. I mean, some of it was all right, I guess. I'm guessing that's who you're talking about. Remember, I don't get smarter as more of this goes into me. But yet I have. I've been pontificating. I've been just blurring. Blurring? I've been blurbing. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. I've been enunciating. No, I'm not even enunciating. Kevin, you've just been talking. Just say you've been talking for a couple hours. I've been talking for a couple hours. Why? For you. Just for you. You know what I'm talking about. It was such an interesting day. And I guess we still got an hour left of it. But I'm not expecting anything out of the ordinary. And I don't think there are no warrants. Which one must be careful about nowadays. It really has become such a hardcore police state. And I mean, it's still clear. And it's probably not any better wherever you guys are, but It's become very Orwellian on a lot of fronts. Still fighting the good fight. I'm going to fight all the way down. Never be cruel or cowardly. Always be kind. Which isn't to say you can't tell someone to go fuck themselves from time to time. You got to have a little humanity. Blurbing, new word. I've just been blurbing. What's blurbing? It's when you talk for over 2 hours. That's blurbing. It's like blogging. It's much different than splurging. Splurging would be buying too much, right? SPLURGING. Can you use that word in a sentence? Go fuck yourself. You want me to use this in a what? I'll tell you where you can use it. Hickory dickory dock. This chick was... Oh, hey, look, a cigarette. Look at this hand. Look at that hand. Swirl! Oh, man. It's been a bit... You know what it is? It's because I was on Facebook earlier, and I started realizing Facebook has made me hate everybody. Like, through the lens of Facebook. But if I go out in the real world, and I'm not looking at them in a digitally enhanced format, I like them a lot better, which is really bizarre. Like, Facebook has tainted all of it. And it's crazy. But you know what? Still gonna go. Still fighting the good fight. And it is a good fight. If you try to be nice, don't lie, don't steal, be nice. And burp as often as you can to release those evil gases. See, I don't know. I'm going to have to listen to this myself. I'm curious to see how the guitar sounded. And I'm curious to see if you can hear any of my music in the background here floating over. Because one of the things about having my music on Spotify is that I get paid per play. So I get like something like 0.0004 cents every time one of my songs is played. And so I always have my own latest album on loop with my little tube here. And that earns me enough, it earns me a little bit of money every month because I keep playing my own stuff. And so I'm like, well, why wouldn't I? But, so I leave it up all the time and I forget and, I'm streaming, so I'm like, it might be leaking. I mean, it's not like I'm going to sue myself for copyright infringement, but yeah, I like to do it straight. I expel you, demon. No, you don't want me to expel the demon. I know how it smells. We don't want that anywhere near us. It's I had a taco salad yesterday, so that demon, it's going to be arriba. It's going to be special. It is you not want to smell that. It'll be bad. It'll be bad. Cultural appropriation. Brought to you by Natty Ice. You wait, someday my ship's gonna come in. And then some girl's going to try to take it. I ain't going to let her. It's going to be a good fight. And there's going to be a lot of laughs. And then she's going to cry at the end. Coming to the real world near you. Dun, dun, dun. I should have risers in there. Boom, boom, boom. This fall. Boom, boom, boom. His asshole. Boom, boom, boom. Will really is hell. Boom, 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 boom. You see chocolate syrup fly up all over me. See, I'm storyboarding right now with you. You poor creatures enduring this torture. What do we got here? There's that haze. That's the heirloom tomatoes. That the gas filters through the heirloom tomatoes and it creates noxious fume, which I think is +3 versus mithril swords. I'm not quite sure how that works in D&D land. But it works. And let me tell you, those noxious fumes, we gotta watch off. I used to play Dungeons and Dragons when I was a young lad, and boy, anything I would come into contact with became a plus something versus something. It was like that fork is a +1 versus my my mashed potatoes. This knife is a +7 versus my steak. And that's how I lived most of my early high school days until I got this snot beat out of me. And then I was very brittle for a short period of time. And then I took martial arts. And then things kind of turned around. Go figure. And I didn't end up turning into a bully. Although I was a little bully-esque when I was young. But I learned that I'm nicer now. Buy some paint. Yeah. Yeah, you notice that wall's discolored? I mean, you can see it all. It's floating up. It's twinkling in the night. We're doing anal jokes. Fart jokes. There's nothing wrong with a good fart joke. Here, let's ask the machine to tell us a joke. Alexa, tell me a joke.
I have to admit, the Baltimore Ravens got game. But only when that game is Angry Birds.
I don't get it. I know. I see. I don't think she's funny. I think it's because it's a she. That's sexist. Yes, it is. You tack into that. It's funny how, Matt, when you suggested going to the bleachers, into that field, how that really did trigger that thought triggered me. All right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually do that. And that led to a series of events. It really is like watching dominoes fall. Like on a quantum level, because they say observing a particle changes the particle. And that makes perfect sense. Because the moment you put a camera on someone, their demeanor changes because of how they know they're being observed. But on a quantum level, where had I not gone today to that football field, all of those events wouldn't have linked up. Keep drinking, Kev. Because, again, I'm not getting smarter as this goes on. I'm shocked. I'm like almost 2.5 hours in of me blurping, pontificating, yipping, yakking, yakety yak. Don't come back. Don't come on my face. I just did my hair. That's what she said. Wah, 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 wah. Come on, that's kind of funny. I'm subtly amused. I'm not hysterically amused, but I'm subtly amused. It's starting to get warm, surprisingly enough. It's because it gives you the illusion of you being warmer than you actually are. And now I've doubled down. Because, be it too holy. Hey! See? I don't understand the universe, but I'm going to flow with it. Because it means good times. I see a silver horizon. It's like the song in The Hobbit. Can't make this shit up, folks. Oh wait, yeah, you did. It's a thing. I'm a builder. I'm a writer. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I'm drinking natty ice until I die. I'm a misogynistic, fun-loving cryptic. And thank you for joining my live stream. I'll put that on my next album. Unc Benjamin Kerr. Hello, greetings, sir. I once knew a Donald Kerr. I liked that fellow quite a lot. He was very nice. And he used to be a fire jumper. He used to jump into fires to put them out. And that's not a joke. He would do it. They would drop them behind like fire lines and they'd have to fight fires. Respect that, man. I salute him. I'm sorry I saw the name. It sent me down a rabbit hole of memory, but I've had a good life. I've seen, excuse me, there's the gassy. Yep, there's the fumes. Seen many things, but many beautiful things. I was a photographer in from, I want to say like 99 to the moment we got cameras on our cell phones. So like I want to say till 05. And God, girls, dancers, actors, they used to pay me to take pictures of them. And like the dancers wanted me to take pictures of them naked. I saw so much beauty in the 2000s. It was a great time to be alive. Girls were paying me to take pictures of them naked. I mean, what more could you ask for? And I was good at it. And then, alas, time moves on, the rules changed, and I require those. My eyesight, of course, has changed. My sense for composition, I think, has improved, but my ability to focus has not. And I'm still working on that, and who knows, modern science is moving along. But entropy and the decay of the host body, I think I might be fucked. But we'll see. See? 2 beers in. Now it's delicious. Remember the face I was making when I first started? That's changed now. Because now I'm not tasting the flavor of natural ice. I'm tasting 5.9%. And that 5.9%. We've reached the funny yet stupid stage. It's pretty funny, but you can tell he's getting loaded, and I'm a little concerned for him, but I'm kind of, if he self-immolates, I'll be entertained, so I'll give it a shot. Watch, I got the rest of my watch hours right here tonight. I am not a role model, kids. Not a role model. I'm just a regular Joe who doesn't have a job. I'm your average white suburbanite slob. If you don't know how the rest of that goes, then I can't help you. Well, I could, but I'm not gonna. Not this venue. Not this time around. Wow. I literally, and I swear to God, I'm not making this up, a female who was relatively good looking, stripped naked in front of me, and it was right here, leaped on top of me. Now, sounds good, right? This isn't good. On this side, there are knives and like hardware and stuff that one should not be falling onto. But I didn't ask for this to happen. I didn't go looking for this. This just happened. The universe does its own thing, regardless of what I want it to do. So I'm doing my best to kind of roll with it, but I've seen some good stuff. And live to tell the tale. And I have those pictures. And I have those release forms. And someday, it'll probably be after I'm dead. It's all right. I proved I existed, and I saw true beauty, and I framed that true beauty, and I'm proud of the work that I did. And other people saw my value too. Yeah. Have another drink. Yeah, be your own thing. We all got our own part to play. So come on. Again, true wisdom is knowing I'm an idiot. But I'm a funny idiot. And, you know, if you're going to listen to someone ramble, why not me? Hey, sometimes he does impressions that are all right. He likes Christopher Walken. He burps a lot, but, you know, I don't have to smell it. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. See, I ate like a pig today. And when I say that, I had a shrimp Caesar salad. That's exactly what I ate today. But it took a little preparation. Because it's the Caesar kit. The Caesar salad is a kit. But I have to prep the shrimp. And then so I put olive oil in the pan. And then I do a little bit of seasoning in the olive oil. And I warm that up. And then I gotta thaw out the shrimp. And then I gotta take the tails off. And I wish restaurants would learn how to take the tails off shrimps. And then season all that. A little cayenne pepper. A little paprika. Pepper. And garlic salt. Throw it all in there with a little onion. Get that to the point where it's all hot. Throw that in the salad. Good to go. Still a pound of material. Fish burps. Oh, we're still on the fish burps. I did have sushi yesterday. Or was it the day before? I don't know. It's still starting to run together. That means it's working. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Incapacitating me. Why are you drinking? Well, sometimes it enhances you, but for me, after 10 o'clock, it means I'm ready to be incapacitated. That's probably not the right word. Sedated. No, I don't feel sedated. I feel like I'm amplified. Although it's a depressant, so that's kind of weird in and of itself. Let's keep going, shall we? Shall we? Is that the psychiatric we? The psychiatric we. The psychiatric we is like, wasn't there like a game station called the Sony Wii or something like that? So the psychiatric we would be like a PlayStation where you play with everybody else's mind. The psychiatric we. I fucked up 7 individuals last week. I was playing psychiatric Wii. Was there Sony Wii or something like that? Thank God for marijuana. Thank God they had the sense to legalize it. In the state of Connecticut, marijuana is recreationally legal. Thank God. I don't have to hide underneath my blankets anymore while I smoke weed. I can legally purchase it, legally ingest it in the privacy of my own home without fear of prosecution. Why, I can be prosecuted for anything I'm doing in my own home is beyond me, but Short and Fuzzy. Don't remember Short and Fuzzy. What? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear? Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair? Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? I don't remember Short and Fuzzy. But I do remember Fuzzy Wuzzy. That's right. This is, maybe I can take this stream. The thing with doing live streaming is that when I live stream, it goes right there and then people can watch it again later, which is going to be interesting to see what happens with this video. Because again, like I said, I've only kind of just gotten back into the... Okay, no, I guess I blanked for a second. I had been streaming before, but I'd been streaming via my actual computer. But streaming via the phone, they seem to be pushing, so I figure, okay, well, I'll use the phone this time and see if there's any difference. My mind is like a rabbit's tail, short and fuzzy. Is that from something? That's kind of clever. My mind is like a rabbit's tail, short and fuzzy. And it reminds me of a person I called Fuzzy Wuzzy. On the nose bunker. I can't, like, literally. Now we're moving into Lord of the Rings territory where I've been talking straight for like 2.5 hours. It's good fun. Don't underestimate a good pun. Especially if you got a pun in the oven, then you got to keep brewing that. Got to brew that pun in the oven. I like punny people. Punny people keep you on your toes. Toast? See what I did there? You see lights blinking behind me? That's my synapses firing. Oh, goodness. This is a great way to close the day. I'm pretty stoked. Hey, and I got more. Wait. Oh, there it is. Bubbles, tiny bubbles. No, there's one. This is a game in and of itself. Can you get all the bubbles out of your body so they don't expand, go to your brain, and give you an aneurysm? Sure does. Did somebody say steak? Even the word steak reminds me of Texas. Steak. So what's for dinner? See that cow over there? I'm going to kill it and eat it. You're going to eat it with me. We're going to start at its ass. What the fuck? Why? That's where the best gristle is. Oh, yes, we reached the stage where I'm making myself laugh. And I got tears in my eyes, so I can't even read the feed. Oh, I don't know why that made me laugh. Every now and again, I get lucky. Wow. You never know. You never know how it's going to go. But I really am. I'm so grateful to have had the day that I've had. And I hope that your days are all right too. Because we've been enduring some BS. And it's nice to get a little relief and to be able to chill out and to hang out and just go, okay, you know what? We're all right. We're here. Everything's all right for the moment. It might not be tomorrow, but hey, that's tomorrow. Right now, let's take this moment to fucking take a breath. Take a breath. Enjoy the moment. Right now, you don't have to be at work, I'm assuming. And that's a good thing. You get to hang out. Your free time. This is your free time. You get to chill out now and go, you know what? I don't got to do anything I don't want to do. I'm just going to listen to this guy, hang out. It's nice to be able to do that. Just I'm going to chill. Like, remember that one friend's house where you could just go for a little bit and just like chill out, and they'd be like, you can hang out as long as you want. Just don't bother me. You could just be you. Just exist. No one was trying to say, well, you have to do this. You have to. Not being obligated. That's truly what free time is. When I don't have to do something and I get to choose what I want to do. Yeah. Choosing what you want to do. And sometimes you can choose to do nothing and go, you know what? I'm going to hold my balls and I'm going to lay in bed for an extra hour because I can. Are you getting anything constructive done? No. And what's the purpose of holding your sack? No real purpose. It's just a sense of security, so I'm going to keep doing that. All right, and why an hour? Well, it doesn't have to be an hour. It could be 45 minutes. It could be an hour and 15. The point is free will. I get to decide anytime I want. I don't have to punch a clock. I don't have to type in the numbers. All I got to do is just be. And you know what? Just be sometimes. You worry about other people. You can't control other people. But you can control how you perceive your own moment. And right now, this is terrible beer, but I'm enjoying it very much. Why? Yay. He's not so bright. But he's having such a good time. We don't want to break it to him. Brazil. Brazil. We ever see that movie? That was Terry Gilliam, I believe. He's the guy who made that movie. Very artsy. And again, very deep. Science fiction, predicting where we are now. They were so smart, and we didn't believe them. And so now, here we are, at the end of the universe, watching society collapse inch by inch at the border. Nice of you to join us. I'm here to get this dance party started. Let's see it. Dance party. I wouldn't want to be in Brazil right now. I mean, lovely, like, geography and stuff, but it seems to me that they're having a hard time getting food and stuff. From what I understand. Again, part of the reason we're screwed up here in America. We got it all screwed up in the good old USA, but you look around and you go, well, maybe we ain't so screwed up after all. Still got some freedoms. We still got a chance to pull out of this. See, now you're seeing things the way I'm seeing things. I'm slept good night. Hey, all right, well, you do you. You do what you gotta do. Don't lie, don't steal, be nice. And it was coming out one way or the other. I used to know a guy who could play it out, but I've never been able to do that tonally. Nocturne. internal emissions. Thank goodness for you. And you should thank goodness for you, because being able to just hang, enjoy the evening, it was a good day. You made it. You won. You lived to the end of another day without anyone putting a gun to your head. I mean, I'm not there. I don't know for a fact. Tap twice if you need help. I'm not coming, but... yeah, I'm not looking for hidden signals. I'm going to have to be pretty blatant. Not leaving yet. Not going anywhere. That was terrible. Oh, that's why. Keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Keep on, yeah. Until I've had myself a bottle of gin and then all game. But it won't be fun after that. It's never fun after a bottle of gin. In fact, a bottle of gin ends up in death if you drink the whole thing. Seems to me. And that's pretty much all body weights. Depending on the bottle. And the gin. And, well, what do we got there? Thought you lit it backwards at first. I've done that. Boy, and if you're short on smokes, if you light it backwards, and there's that rage can go nowhere but back at yourself. I've done that before where I've just been like, oh, here it comes. Look at it. Look at that little spinny action. Yeah. But that's the right end. Going on right now. But I have flipped it over. There you go. You're the only person in the universe to see Kevin's cigarette tricks. I'm going to put this in my butt and I'm going to blow smoke rings. Can't even rip the filter off. The taste is still there. That's true. It just looked good because of the nightclub filter. But I've been trying. I can like flip coins and stuff like that. Because, and here, swear to God, I thought it would impress girls when I was younger if I learned how to show off my finger dexterity by rolling coins over it, so I could do the quarter tricks and stuff like that. And it works, quite frankly. Thank goodness for that. Again, from 2000 to 2007 was awesome. Upon reflection, those years of my life, in and of itself, I can't believe I managed to pull that off. It was like, it really is kind of like the Garden of Eden. After 2007, it was like I was cast out of the garden. I was thrown back to the wolves. But you know what? I've still equipped myself admirably. And this is proof, because I get to be here tonight drinking Natty Ice, which was terrible when I started and is delightful now. And I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. See, even this is like, if you were at a job, at any, like a real job, I don't consider this a real job. I consider this me attempting to make it a career. But at a real job, you go in, you punch the thing, and you go, okay, I'm here. And then you get paid from that period of time, from that period of time. Well, in here, it tells you, okay, you've been here for 2 hours and 40 minutes. The minimum wage in Connecticut is a little above $15 an hour. So I just made 30, almost $45 if I'm going by Connecticut minimum wage. No, I haven't made that. I don't have to keep going. Stop, bitch. You're not. I know. I can't believe I'm still going either, honestly. And I'm still genuinely entertained, self-entertained. Well, you're entertaining me too. We're entertaining each other. We're sharing time. And I'm grateful for that time, shared. Because let's face it, your attention could be anywhere else. I mean, everything else is fighting for it. There are always ads and this and that. I always get someone in my inbox on Facebook going, hey, you need help with this, you need help with that. But they don't genuinely want to help. They just want to sell a service. I'm so tired of being sold. It's just like a kid stopped by recently. And he goes, hey, I'm in a rough spot. Can I borrow $20? I said, look, you can have $20. Just go for it. Pay it forward sometime. And then he wanted a hug from me, which was actually, to me, it's worth more than the $20 because, I can be affectionate, but I'm really surprised when people come in on me because my instinct is to do martial arts stuff and go, okay, that's not. But the moment that you have to accept a hug or you decide to accept a hug, you have to kind of go, okay, well, I could die here. But all right, for the sake of compassion for another human being, because I think everyone needs to be hugged every now and then. Pardon. And so and the guy at Davis Park, he went in for the hug too. And I remember, thinking about it well, all right. Because sometimes you need to give that positive energy. Well, thank God for that. I'm glad somebody finds me freaking amusing beyond myself. Here, let me turn the bubbles on for a little bit. And be like Lawrence Welk. I don't know if you know who that is. Tiny bubbles. No, that's the Hawaiian dude. God, well, keep drinking, Kevin. You're not going to remember more. You're going to remember less. All right. No, I mean, he told me what he needed it for. He goes, look, I just need to get the moose up and I need a pack of cigarettes. And I'm like, you know what? To me, it's like, dude, I want to get myself a pack of cigarettes. But in that particular moment, I was like, you know what? I got it. Pay it forward. There you go. We decide what we need to keep getting through. I showed compassion. I showed empathy. And I was kind. Don't lie. Don't steal. Be nice. The be nice thing still tricks me, though. Because occasionally I nurture scorpions. And that can poison you. All right. The monsters. It was amazing how lovable he was. Grandpa, too. And I remember it was a fun little show, The Monsters. It's been a long time. Who knows? Maybe he did. Maybe he did. But it doesn't matter, I guess. The thing is that it was the action, my own action, where I'm like, well, I hope it did good. but I did it to be good. And that's kind of enough. Where it's like, well, I could have been greedy and said, no, this is mine. I worked for it, da da da. But he did. He seemed to have that sense of desperation where it's like, you know what? Sometimes you need someone to say yes to you. And it's funny because I'll do it. I'm more likely to do it for a guy than for a girl nowadays, because girls have a sense of entitlement nowadays. So now I'm just like, no to the girl, but yes to a lot of the guys. You need a hand. Sometimes you need someone kind to go, hey, you know what? Life is tough, and if I got a little spare, here you go. Compassion. Be nice. Sorry, I was very reflecting there for a second. It's gonna get more intense as this goes on, though. it's it's been it's been a bizarre day. It's been a positive day, and I think there's gonna be more positivity, and hopefully that might be able to ripple out where it can affect our environment even in an even better way. That's the hope. I mean, no empirical evidence for any of this. None of it. I am not a role model. I am not a scientist. I am not an expert. You should not listen to me. I'm not as smart as Jordan Peterson, and I'm not as smart as Dr. Phil. I'm not as smart as Oprah, and I'm not as smart. Okay, I'm smarter than Jimmy Fallon. And I'm smarter than Jimmy Kimmel. All right, never mind. I retract my comments. I'm definitely not as smart as the monsters. It's been a day. And I know tomorrow's going to be like mellow, because peaks and valleys. Life is peaks and valleys. So tomorrow I know is going to be like low key, but I do have a nice taco salad to look forward to. Boy, when I measure my life by what I get to consume the next day, really, that's where I'm at. Works for me. Watch some old Star Trek Voyager. Boy, you want to see, now I'm starting to talk pure geek. They brought her back in her 50s. They brought her on board back in that show because she was built like a brick house. But they had a lot of good stories, And again, sci-fi is very predictive of what's going to happen in the future. Sometimes you can watch sci-fi and be like, oh, this is coming. Look at Idiocracy. If you know of that movie, the whole premise of that movie is all the smart people go, with the economic climate, we don't think we're ready to breed and to bring, smart kids into this world, da 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 da. And all the dumb people saying, all right, we need to have 700,000 of us. We don't care how it's going to happen. We're just going to keep banging. And they win from the numbers alone. So the future becomes, now we have a wrestler. And I mean, I know he ain't a wrestler, but he's been in the ring. He's the president. And they're watering their crops with Gatorade. So it seems pretty accurate to me, but I think things are going to be all right despite all of it. Despite the narrative. Sometimes you can have think of it as a positive version of cancer. Ooh, I like this idea. Let's spitball this idea. Let's say you could have a cancer that grows and it brings life. And lots of video to edit if you watched DBZ abridged Piccolo. I can't even read that. Good job, Natty guys. And lots of video to edit. ... If you've watched DBZ abridged Piccolo and Gohan training nerd now Dash. I'm gonna have to bring in Google Translator on that one. I'm not on the vibe. I mean, I'm not saying I disapprove. I'm just saying I don't comprehend. So now you made me feel stupid. Ain't hard to do. I could dwell on it, but that ain't gonna help anything. Or I could tack into it. Again, almost 3 hours. Vertical format. All right, rock on. I mean, well, technically now it's Thursday, isn't it? And that says Wednesday. Why does that say Wednesday? We're after, no, because we're not after midnight. Dumbass. We're almost at Thursday the 14th. I got nothing on my schedule tonight. This is it. When I close this down, well, I'm closing me down. No snacks, no extra bowls. It's just gonna be like, let me tell you, this right here, neck pillow. Oh, God bless this thing. Saved my back from excruciating pain, and has provided me excellent nap hours. Neck pillows. You'll thank me later. I do not make any proceeds from neck pillows. And if you'd like, you can send me neck pillows. Is it raining? Oh shit, it's starting to rain. I mean, I'm under a roof, so I don't have to worry about it, but I'm just surprised because you probably can't hear that. You see, and that's the thing. I'm going to go through the stream. I'll go through it a little tonight once I stop streaming. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to look at the stream tomorrow. And I'm going to scrub. And to scrub means you're going to go backwards and forwards in the timeline. And I'm going to see if I can kind of comprehend. Because right now I'm still on stage, so to speak. So I'm trying to stay... excuse me. Trying to stay present and understanding, we got a thing going on here. Like, there's no ring on your finger. There's no ring on my finger. But I appreciate the mutual time spent. With that, it will end. All things must. And it will go to me being unconscious from here on in. Right, this is 2. This is empty. Oh, nothing like drinking from the bottom of a can. Oh, God, is that terrible? You figure I wouldn't even taste that at this point. Slightly better. A little colder, a little fresher. All right. So there's no title. There's no official mayor of Danielson. But I think I want to see if I can, summon it into existence. I want to be the mayor of Danielson. There's no mayor. But I think I can make this happen. So, I ended up getting myself a Canon Picasma. It's just a printer scanner. Really cheap. It was like $40 at Walmart. And I mean, prints out okay, set it up all right. I did an unboxing. And I figured I'd use it, and I'd send these things out, which I'll see if I can if that even works later. You scan that, and sorry, you scan that, and that brings you to my Spotify page, where you can see all my albums and stuff like that. So you can check out my music, which will probably put you to sleep, honestly, because most of it's instrumental, electronic instrumental, and it's like they go on little journeys, but a lot of it's kind of floaty, folly, kind of sent to yourself sort of stuff. And I like to think that a lot of it's upbeat and kind of like, bring you up. So if you can, find somebody else's phone and put it on and then hit repeat. Because it gets me an extra couple bucks every month. I don't understand why I sound like Bill Clinton there. Well, she was just, I had a cigar, and she was interested. She liked power, and then she got the power, and then, well, the Republicans, they said no one should have that kind of fun, and yeah, I just blew the sax. My man's still going rock steady. I'm having myself an old-fashioned cheers. Cheers to you. Have your old-fashioned. It's good and good for you. That's a lie. I just caught myself in a lie. Know what Howard Stern's known for? His words, not mine. I have no problem with Howard Stern. In fact, I found him very entertaining. He amused me on many levels. But that's an opinion. Floogly. Well, floogly, flibbity floppity. Floogly, he's already probably gone. Can never tell. No one's got any staying power except for you, man. Except for you, Eric. You got staying power. I don't think even I'm going to have much more. You know why? Because this is beer 3. Ching! And I'm thinking, I'm not going to survive another 2. I mean, I'll survive it, but I'll be unconscious at the end of it. This will be 15 seconds. You can count down if you want, but it ain't going to do much good. It's going to be that's going to be. All right. Say no. Ryan Reynolds himself. He's going to be you shouldn't be streaming on your plan. He's going to show up in his Deadpool costume with Hugh Jackman at his right-hand side. The little claws. Ching! And it's going to be a good time. Because, Hugh Jackman's got a sense of humor. How do I know that? He let people put balls on his chin. In a stupid movie that made nothing. I'm talking about movie 43, where he was perfect. He had balls for a chin. And it was funny. And it, again, once you can kind of make fun of yourself, which I do all the time, because, it's easy to make fun of yourself when you're happy too, though. And I'm pretty happy. I can't believe I'm this happy single. Because occasionally I'll talk to an ex and I'll be like, ooh, boy, that milk spoiled a long time ago. You can't go back. Once that milk is spoiled, it's not like, I'll check it later, see if it's not spoiled. It's always spoiled. What an analogy that is. Analogy. Anal agi. And that's why it smells like shit. I'm telling you, I'm gonna end up doing a show. Not this year, next year. I'm gonna end up doing a live show. I'm gonna be prepped for it. I know this is a lot of grandiose posturing in this regard, but if I say it, if I speak into the universe, it means I'm gonna kind of have to. Once I set a goal for myself and say it, well, it's regardless of whether other people actually perceive it. It's that I put it out there, so I'm like, ooh, okay, I guess that's the direction I want to go in. Again, defines the tack where I'm gonna flow. I never trust the milk in my fridge. I'm really anal about that, though. Analogy. Milk, I only drink vitamin D milk. I won't do skim 1%, 2%, whatever. I'll do almond milk, which I know is not milk. And almond milk actually tastes pretty good if it's sweetened. But it's not milk. It's faux milk. Supposedly better for you, but, you know, every now and then a little milk. But yeah, but I'm very suspect of it. If it's been in there for more than a week, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to take a pass on that. And I never smell it. Ever. Because I know if that smell, that odoriferous pontification hits my nose, I'm going to be like, I mean, I might not, but I'm probably just going to go, that's not good. We're not going to do that. I don't want to take the risk. I don't know why dairy scares me so much. But it is what it is. Never trust the milk in my fridge. I don't. But that's the thing. I take care of the problem. I get new milk. I don't know why I think, all right, well, a couple days is going to save me, but I do. I'm prejudiced against old milk. Maybe that's a song for my next album. I'm prejudiced against old milk. I don't like it when it curdles. It's like dating a girl and then finding out she's wearing a girdle. I mean, she's lying. She was fatter than she presented herself to be. Here, watch Goose. You know, you're not the first person to ask me that question. And you're not the first person I'm going to say, no, I've never seen Goose. And for some reason, I have a hunch that Goose is going to find me. Goose is a band. And it's a band that does frequent New England. And an acquaintance of mine, Trevor, he goes crazy over Goose. He thinks Goose is wonderful. And I mean, I've never seen the performance. I know that you know, like I look at upcoming stuff, but I'm not as easily excitable by music premieres. Well, probably because I'm a musician myself. I have high expectations. I need to be emotionally stimulated. Show me the udder on a strawberry. When I go through this, I'm going to end up having to look stuff up now. You've given me stuff to educate myself on. Yep. I'm not burning myself. Burning my own house down. Holy fuck. That means, well, we're coming close. Again. And now the natty ice tastes pretty good. And I'm feeling pretty good. I'm getting a little loose. I don't know if you can see the wave it's been going. Goose Unfiltered. All right. Tell you what. Though it probably will copyright strike me, so I'll just pull it up, see if I can find it. Oh, goose. Nope, that's good. Goose. As I tap the keyboard, the cable going from the keyboard to the computer is on the guitar frets. I was talking to you earlier about it. My positivity and Don Rickles. Oh, wait. Goose Unfiltered. Unfiltered. All right, there's Goose Unfiltered. 243,000 subscribers. Let's take a look at this.
I'm planning training my daughter, and I had her by myself the other day, and Sarah was off doing something, and she's like, look, just put panties on her. She doesn't have to wear the diaper. She'll be fine. And like the whole time, I'm like, all right, well, that makes sense. She's going to...
All right. It was that or get it with a turkey baster. I have a hunch that this is going to be up my alley. It's weird, though, if you want to... No, I'll take a look at this. Milk. No, I'm going to take a look at this. This looks like I'm going to be entertained. But let me preface with this. Anyone who has more than like 100,000 subscribers, excuse me, I'm instantly skeptical of and very reluctant to subscribe. Like, I'll subscribe to people who are like under 1,000, or if I really like their stuff. But for some reason, I'm like, I don't want to. I'm like chintzy with my subscriptions and with my, who I give my attention to. My attention is the most important thing I got. My time is the most valuable thing I own. I only get it once. So it's just like, if I know I'm going to be swayed. So I'm pretty picky about it. But I'll take a look at that. Because sometimes, got to go with the flow. Got to go with what the universe puts in front of you. Maybe it'll lead you to opportunities. I hope so. I like positive opportunities. You never know how that's going to run. But either way, it was that or get it with a turkey baster. Well, that's what they call the home pregnancy kit was, you got a turkey baster and scoop that up from your brother. Yes, good. Sweet home Alabama. I'm getting, I don't know if you can tell, the energy level. I ain't there yet, but I'm getting close. And still, I've been able to talk for over 3 hours of me yapping. See, this will just get it out of my system, though. Yeah, this will get it out of my system, sure. You believe that? Do you believe that? Do you believe I can heal you with the force? Do you believe I can heal you with the great words? Do you believe Natty Ice can be your savior? No, sir. No, sir, I do not believe that. I believe that I'm going to burp again. Not now, but eventually. I believe that sometime I'm going to have to excrete some waste material. There's nothing I can do about it. And if I try to force it the other way, I think I could injure my bodily form. I don't want to do that. No, sirree. I don't know why. I just went down to the Waffle House. You go up to it, we can tell you what you can say. You know, Canada used to be one of the friendliest countries. Used to love everyone, eh? And then we went, no. Hey, you know, Trudeau, it's pretty cute. Bet you he could do a totalitarian government, hey? Oh, that ain't gonna be much fun for the truckers. They might have something to say about that. Wow. No, I guess that would make a certain amount of sense, honestly. If you pee on certain substances and it changes color, it might be able to tell you, I mean, that's kind of how it works now, right? Pregnancy test, pee on a stick. Nah, hormones have changed. You got a bun in the oven. And if you're peeing on wheat, well, then you're peeing on the buns that are going in the oven. But do you know whose bun it is? That's where we have problems in modern society. Because it might not be your bun. They aren't real loyal now. Not in like my mom's generation and the generations before that where they had to be. All right, they made their choice. They stuck by it. Now they're just like, I think I'd like flavor number 32 now. Let me try this. This one's not fitting for me. I'd like to speak to the manager. Yes, miss, is there a problem? Well, this flavor that you sold me, it didn't keep a hold of me, and it didn't do everything I wanted it to do for me. Yes, miss, and what would you like me to do about it? Well, I want to speak to your manager. I am the only manager, miss. And that person has been dead for 10,000 years. Keep doing you, man. You seem truly happy. No more compromising. Well, okay, compromising is fine, but again, it has to be a mutual. You have to have some sort of diplomacy, especially with the females. Look, if anything I say to you is sexual harassment, well then, really? I said, that's a very nice dress today. Oh, you're going to jail. Really? I was trying to compliment you. No, I wrote you a poem. Oh, that's harassment. You're going to jail. Really? No, I think it's silly. Quite silly. But yes, I mean, they might be able to stop me from being me, but it'll take my death. And I mean, I'd like to think I'm relatively entertaining. I know I entertain myself. I laugh every morning when I look at my balls in the mirror. I don't mean my testicles. I mean I have balls in the other room. But not sponsoring this podcast. They should be, though. Podcast, live stream, whatever it is. A vertical format on a whim. And I'm still here 3 hours later. Or it was that, or get it with a turkey baster. That's what I'm looking at on the screen. Goose Unfiltered. 243,000 subscribers. I was proud when I cracked 1,000, 1,000. I was proud. I was like, yeah, 1,000 people have said, I'm on board with Kevin G Nicholson and his ridiculous view of the world. This guy's got 243,000. He's probably pretty fucking funny, though. Now, See arrogance spring there? What's this? I'll name hot milk. All right. Let's look for hot milk. Hot milk. Wait. Gotta get the old keyboard. Oh, it's on the frets again. Wait. Milk. Oh, this boy. Oh, he must be a father. Well, yeah, I should have picked that up from the first. All right. Let's go. Oh, see, there's so many deep dives. Snail's house, hot milk, party on my deathbed, hot milk. I just want to know what happens when I'm. And then recipes. Goose Wayne. All right. This is weird because I'm just like, all right, I'll Goose Wayne. All right, you guys got me. Hot milk. Manchester, United Kingdom. Do I have audio? Probably shouldn't do that anyway. I'll get copyright striked. All right, I'm about the rabbit hole. Because I think I can get something out of this. I think I might be able to get on the same vibe. I might be able to push this forward. I might be able to push this out. And I don't mean like a turd after a couple of days of brewing. I think I can create something good. I'm all about building. I'm all about making something new. Something that maybe even might surprise even me. Could happen. Or I could just be drunk on natty ice with delusions of adequacy. Delusions of adequacy. But I do not have the delusions of having marijuana. Nope, that's real stuff. Legal, recreationally. Wasn't prescribed by a doctor. It's Goose Swain. Goose Swain. Not Goose Unfiltered, Goose Swain. All right, let's take a look at that. Y-N-E. Okay. $650. Boy, there are a lot of people. I can make somewhere saying ooh, ew to random girls. Ooh, I like that already. It's funny. That's like the default for most girls. Ew. Hey, you want to see something? Ew. It's creepy. You're creepy. You're a douchebag. No, you're part of that modern woke generation that wants to hear me use your pronouns as I'm going they, them. Up yours, they, them. Goose Swain. No, I'm gonna take a look at this stuff. Can't do it now because all the Google stuff will go off. The YouTube stuff will go off. Wait, I got another bubble. Nah, it was just phlegm. Give me a sec. We'll make another bubble. Three and a half hours. I'm coming on 3.5 hours where I've just been blah, 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 blah. And we've just about hit midnight. It's 11:59 p.m. It is March 13th, 2024. Thank you for hanging out with me, Kevin G Nicholson. I'm the host of this freaking YouTube channel that no one cares about, but I like doing. And I'm gonna be going on deep dives on Goose Wayne and Goose and hot milk. All right. Yeah, worst times to spend your time. Really has been. It's been a good day, but it's been a very unexpected positive reinforcement. I think we're there. Floggly. It's about time for nunny. Nunny. Oh, wait. Hey, nani. What was that song? Oh, that was from Shakespeare. Much Ado About Nothing. Wow. Yeah. You got until the end of this beer, folks. So if there's any impressions you would like, or if you have any requests of the near future, now is the time to make them. And beyond that, all I would say is, that there's some of the stuff I've already produced. It's already in my long-form video segments. You could take a look. I encourage you to look at the last Avatar, where I laugh hysterically at the first episode of that Netflix series. I was amused. Makes me laugh, so why wouldn't you? And then, of course, in a couple days, there will be something on the high school if you're into the Killingly stuff, the Killingly dinosaur stuff. I know that the legendary Sparky will be back here soon. And I'm certain I'm going to be playing guitar in the near future. But right now it's raining and I'm getting fatigued after 3 hours and 22 minutes of vertical live streaming. Isn't this fabulous? See, but this is why I drink. Is because otherwise I'd keep going and going and going. And eventually, if you run the machine too much, we all got our limits. You got burnout. And perhaps that accelerates the burnout in the long term, but what did Dennis Leary say? Dennis Leary said, they say it'll take the smoking cigarettes will take the last 10 years off your life. And he goes, fuck that. Who wants those years? Those are the ones at the end. Those are adult diaper wheelchair years. We don't want those years. You can fucking have them. Dennis Leary quote. Kinda. Didn't like the wrong end. It's magic. That's what I'm saying. You don't know how long you got. Even if you smoke, you drink, you boof up your butt chug, you slut chug. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. Let's do a little Alan Watts. He was a philosopher. I think he ticked off in 2000s, but he was, for 40 years he traveled the world learning different philosophies and nuances of how to live. And he shared that amongst you. You don't know. We'll see. But if you're seeing it with a positive attitude, might get you. Most of the time, it'll actually be good. Today was a good day. And you know what? I really do. I appreciate it. I've gotten at least, what, 3? I've been on for 3.5 hours. So that means I've probably gotten, with concurrence, I want to say I've gotten like 7 watch hours. I'm going to double check my math. Thanks, Floggly. Now go through and type shit in all the videos. Or do whatever you want. No, but that's cool. Because I'm pretty sure I just got up to I just got over 3,600. If my calculations are correct. And remember, true wisdom is knowing I am Kevin G Nicholson and I am an imbecile. An idiot, I know nothing. And that's probably why I'm so happy. I am pretty happy. And single because, or happy because I'm single. Kind of a little column A, little column B. Although you, the one with the wife, if it's working for you, give her a hug. You don't have to kiss her, you don't have to do anything, just give her a hug. And you know what? I appreciate the fact that you're my ally and that you're on my team and that we're on the same team. If you can find people on your team, be nice. Let them know that you appreciate it from time to time, because that goes a long way. I went out of my way like 3 weeks ago. My uncle was nice enough to give me a ride back from my mom's house to my house because I lost my car last fall, and he was always unconventional, but my uncle used to always make me laugh, and so I turned to him and I said, "You know what? You've made me laugh so much over the course of my life that I wanted to let you know that I really appreciate it." And it seemed to hit home with him, and he's like, "Hey, someone appreciates the fact that I've tried to be silly and upbeat, and and I'm glad I did it upon reflection, in hindsight." And him, like all of us, have made mistakes, but you know what? Something to be said about having a good heart. I used to have pets, but inevitably they don't live as long as we do. I used to have a Cocker Spaniel, black Cocker Spaniel, and I had named him Knox. I'd gotten him as a puppy. I had paid like $350. And this is in, I want to say, 94, 95. Wow, you want to talk about knocking me for a loop, though. And I loved that dog. I love that dog still, despite the fact that it's passed. And yeah, he died of old age, and he died right next to me. And he really was. He was my best friend, and I'm grateful for the time that I got to spend with him. Sorry, that went a little deep, but hey, he asked if I had pets, and no, not anymore. Because I didn't want to feel, honestly, I guess you could say I was cowardly, because I was just like, after feeling that loss, and I had another dog at the same time that, Freya, she was a blonde Cocker Spaniel, and I got her to kind of keep him company, but she outlasted him, and then I had to put her down later, because the life happens. She got old and she couldn't. I really struggled with that. This is getting real. Because when I had to put her down, I was like, what right do I have to end anyone's life, or even to give the word to have her put to sleep? And I mean, we're talking, she was like 15 years old, and she could barely stand. And someone I had known had said, you know, it was the most humane thing to do. And I thought, wow, you know, I mean, that makes me feel a little better, but still that I had the audacity to kind of like make the call at the end over Mother Nature. That was very deep for me. And so I haven't accepted any pets into my life since then. And I know that's probably a little darker than you guys were, because we've been laughing for most of the night. But yes, I have had pets. And I love them, and I spoil them. Knox used to get prime rib bones and stuff like that. And he was a funny dog. He was a great dog. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at the chat because I started reflecting. I used to throw a tennis ball into my parents' pool, and the dog used to fly off the edge of the pool and jump in the water and then go and do the dog paddle and get to the ball, and then it would chomp into the water until it was able to get the ball, and then would bring it back to me to throw it again repeatedly. And that, oh boy. Yeah, wow. I'm not like weepy, but very sentimental, because I love that dog. I still have pictures of that dog everywhere, and dogs are fantastic creatures. Cats fucking suck. Dogs are awesome creatures. I mean, yeah. Now I have to drink for the pain. No, it was great. See, that's the thing. And, you know, it's amazing. They were all punk ass cats. Oh, those arrogant pricks. Every last one. You know, it's the one that puts his asshole right in front of your face like that all the time. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that puck. Right there. Little asshole. I don't want to see that. I don't want that near my face. I don't want hers near my face. I know what she had yesterday. I made her the taco salad. And then Friskies is going to come over with, look at my sphincter. No. Not been there it is. For the kitty. I know people love them. I'm allergic to cats, you say. So I have that, which is, it's an affliction, but at the same time, it protects me from having to date anyone with cats. I'll never date anyone who owns a cat. Well, my cat's going to come with me. Well, we're done. That's it. That's a break it. Make it or break it sort of scenarios. You can poop cubes, and that'll be fine. I can get by you pooping cubes. If every piece of poop that came out of you was in cube form, it's weird. But you know what? It's not a break it for me. But a cat? Nah, that's out. No cat coming in this house. Because that's going right up my nose, right into my brain, and then I turn not good. So. You know, the thing is that with rabbits, I used to love Cocoa Puffs before I learned what rabbit shit looked like. Now, luckily, there is no humorous antidote where I ate this cat poop. But I remember noticing it and going, ew. Well, that's not the same thing as Cocoa Puffs. I'm not cuckoo for those Cocoa Puffs. I am cuckoo for the sugary, sweet, coquettish Cocoa Puffs. Before I watch my Saturday morning cartoons. I used to love my Saturday morning cartoons. And eating sugary cereal. I can do rabbits. I don't think I'd be able to do goat. Well, now I could if I had a barn. And maybe I could even coexist with one. But eh. Oh. Oh, God. There's so much to unpack there. There's too much to unpack there. Floggily. I mean, kind of funny, but more like, oh, come on, Gramps. No. Come on, show some compassion. No. You stop them before they put it. I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to litigate, but oh, God. And sometimes yeah, all right, you got me. I was young and I was stupid, but that's kind of a setup that's, I mean, not lethal, obviously, because you made it, but, oh, God. Ugh. Hey, this will make you smart. Stick that in your mouth. If you like that, I got a bigger pill. Stick that in there. And now we're at why Me Too exists. Wow. I went dark and deep from the dogs to rabbit pellets to Cocoa Puffs to, hey, smart pills. Yeah, they told me about smart pills, but it was in suppository form. Said you gotta take it up the rectum. I dropped my pants, I bent over, and I went, oh, I don't feel like a pill. Gee, Step. Wasn't expecting that. Why is there... It feels wet. Oh, goodness. Would you like a snack? Bacon bit. It's good for you. Yeah, but I can do the butter sugar sandwiches. I did the butter sugar sandwiches. So, a little Wonder Bread, which isn't even really bread. I'm not even quite sure what it's made of. There's no actual nutrition there. It's just like filling. But you put a little sugar on there, a little butter. Well, not only do you got diabetes, you got a good meal. That's how it runs. Can't believe I've been live streaming in vertical format for 3.5 hours. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going at least until the end of this beer. I got a half a beer left. Where we can discuss sugar butter diabetes and how I gave a mouse gonorrhea. I've never done a ketchup sandwich, though. I've never been like that. Wonder Bar is like $3 a pound. And I don't want to know what's in it. Don't tell me what's in it. Bologna. I don't want to know what's in bologna. Because if I don't know, I can still eat it. I know it's probably not good for me, and I don't think I want to know what it's made from. But you add that and a little ketchup. Well, I don't do ketchup primarily. I do mustard primarily. And you got a meal. for under $1. Where can you get that nowadays? And you don't have to have that every day. You just have that to fill it out so you're not spending $20 at McDonald's. Even a fucking burger, fries, and a Coke at McDonald's, $20 for a meal. It's gone that high. When I can make myself a PBJ at home for 50 cents. If you pace yourself, you can have it all, but, just saying. It's Kevin's Practical Economics. Fried bologna. It's, again, $3 for a pound of bologna. I don't want to know what's in it, but it fills the stomach. And that's so, I had a great shrimp Caesar salad. The salad in and of itself was like, I want to say $4. And then the bag of shrimp was probably like, I want to say $6. So it was like a $10 meal, which is probably living a little richly on my part. Whereas, So I'm saying, if you plan out your meals according to, I try to think a couple days. Oh, what do I want to eat tomorrow? What do I want to eat tomorrow? Because I don't generally have access to a car since mine broke down last fall. But I get to borrow my relatives and every now and then, and that so I can do shopping and stuff like that. Thank goodness for that, and I'm grateful for that. And so I got to think, okay, what am I going to eat over the next 3-4 days? And so I'll try to go, okay, well, what do you want to do for lunch meat? Do you want to cook anything? Do you want to, and how are you going to store all that? So I try to be a little more thoughtful. Government cheese. Hey, for all the problems that there might be with the American justice system and maybe this geographic area as a whole, the food stamp program really has stepped up to what it needs to be. Where now you don't get a block of cheese anymore. You get a little silver card and they go, okay, this is how much you can spend a month to eat with. You can't get booze, you can't get smokes, you can't get anything, any non-edible goods, but you can get food so you don't have to starve. And that program is friggin' fantastic. And I'm great. So that's one way the government has succeeded for us. Second way the government has succeeded for us, legalization of recreational marijuana in Connecticut. Second positive thing I have to say about government. I gotta read what's going on here. Was Wisconsin really the cheese state? All right, what was the... They have... No, yeah, I guess there's been a dairy... No, you guys talk amongst yourselves. I gotta pee. Three beers in. Oh, I feel so much lighter. Oh. I can't believe it. 3. Dabs. Wait. Because from what I understand, dabs is like concentrated weed that you need a blowtorch in order to actually activate and inhale. Am I correct? See, that's Dennis Leary's bit too. I don't want to fucking. And then it became carpentry. You know, it's like, well, at first you were just like, okay, let's smoke a joint. And then it was like building bongs out of apples and out of this and out of that. Now, dabs is too much work because I remember someone trying to say, you get the blowtorch and you gotta, you turn the dab into like a glowing hot star and then you can inhale it. Are you disparaging dabs? Yeah, no, you like it by all means. I ain't participating. I saw that. And I ain't buying the equipment. You get a laser. laser amplifier. Radiation suit. Then you need the water filtration system so when the dab hits your brain and doesn't melt it. Says the man who's pickling himself with natty ice. Sorry, guys. I've been making fun of dabbers. You're just, oh my God, that's not inclusive. Really? Hey. I'm gonna make a dab out of it. No, you know what? Crying's good. That means I'm doing my job well, especially at the end of this freaking stream. We're about ready. This has been like half a work shift. And it's gone by just like that. Thanks. Oh, thank you so much. It's nice to be appreciated. Or I even laughed at. Even if you laugh at it and go, no, look at his penis, it's so small. Ah! Hey, someone's laughing at me. That's something. And yeah, it's tiny, but, you know. We got filters. Actually, what bothers me isn't the fact that it's tiny. It's that I'm getting so old now that I don't shoot liquid semen. I just shoot out like DNA dust. So it's like a girl walk by and she's really hot and I'll be like, oh! And then I gotta like, walk through it quick. We might be able to breathe. Please. Oh. Hello? Wait a second. Who's this? Hi. How you doing? Ah! Okay. Yeah. Really? Are you waiting for a ride or are you in? No, I'm in upstairs. Okay. Yeah. I know it's late. Bother and everything. I wish I had more of this morning shit, but I'm more of the smoke a little bit. Go on. I'm streaming.
Oh, you're live streaming?
I'm live streaming right now. So,
What you live streaming?
this right here. It's only pointed at me. They don't see you.
And that's your mic.
Well, it's hanging off my mic. Mic's not even active. I'm just doing it. Supposedly, YouTube's been really pushing the vertical live stream. And so I figured, all right, I'll try it today because I went out shooting today. And
when are you going back to the festival and everything, man, and start doing your dramas?
That's like end of May is pretty much when that all starts. So I still got another couple months.
If I don't end up going back to jail and everything, man, I just think that this is like a better place to be.
Again,
Always.
I'm just saying, be aware. Particles being observed. All right. Sloopy and Eric, I'm signing out. I'm going to have a little conversation over here. Thank you very much for hanging with me. Love you. Bye.